It's a tiny Virginia town with a tiny NASCAR track, but what's small in size is big on consequences. Perhaps more well known than the track, the hot dogs served inside its walls. Drivers may leave angry, they always leave hungry for more.
Truck Series 2010 season.
They're 3 wide for the lead. 3, 4, 5 trucks hold the line. Hornady to the wall.
They're side by side, wheel to wheel for the race lead.
Timothy Peters is going to win at Daytona. 3 wide already. Trouble at turn number 2. Here comes Kevin Harvick pulling away from the field.
7th career win in the Camping World Truck Series.
Nicknamed the paperclip due to its long straightaways and tight turns, NASCAR's biggest names have sat awake at night trying to figure out how to conquer this track. But the trucks live for the tough tests. It's the setup presented by Polaris on Speed. And welcome to the setup from Martinsville. I'm Krista Voda. Okay, don't be fooled. This track may look simple. It is anything but. Add to the mix the fact that qualifying was rained out and final practice was shortened due to that weather yesterday, and just about anything could happen. Tight confines, everything crammed into this half-mile track. Over the next half hour, you're going to see all of it. Now, last year, Kevin Harvick outlasted Kyle Busch to win this race. Now, Kyle's just an owner today, not a driver, but Kevin Harvick is both. This is his truck. Check this out. The Tide Ride is back. Kevin, fastest in yesterday's first practice. He has been fast. In fact, won the last 3 truck races he has entered, including our last race. Here are the sights and sounds of Atlanta.
Green flag in the air, we're racing. A little contact, Kyle Busch gets sideways. We told you it was going to be an interesting start to this race.
Tire smoke on Ron Hornaday's truck.
Problems in turn 3.
Hornaday.
The 33 of Hornaday into the wall. A lot of damage to the back of that truck. Kyle Busch has now got to the back bumper of that 15 of Steve Wallace. Now Busch goes to the bottom of the racetrack, taking second away from Steve Wallace.
Kevin Harvick is trying to stomp the field right here. Oh, sideways. That's going to be a crash.
Crafted into the 30 of Todd.
Hang on to her, Todd.
Look at Bodine trying to keep it off the wall.
Caution's out. 88, went right into the 30.
Well, these restarts have been fun, haven't they?
Yeah, every time they throw the green flag, whoever's running third winds up first.
Kevin Harvick has a 1.2 second lead, comes out of turn number 4, 7th career win in the Camping World Truck Series.
Harvick is not running the full schedule. Neither is Busch. Busch moved up the most with his Atlanta finish. His teammate Taylor Malsom also climbing. In fact, Malsom and Eric Almirola gain 8 positions. Jason White moves up 1. So does Todd Bodine, who replaces Timothy Peters as our current points leader. Okay, now these guys didn't win the race, but they deserve a thumbs up. Stephen Wallace was in the 15 in Atlanta. He gave owner Billy Ballou a 4th place finish. Ricky Carmichael loves speed, whether on 2 wheels or 4. At Atlanta, he was one of the fastest, finishing a career best 6th. And how about Casey Kane's young protege, Brad Sweet? His first top 20 finish, in fact, nearly a top 10. Sweet indeed. And a great day for Chris Fontaine. His 17th place Atlanta finish, also deserving a thumbs up. They were all chasing Harvick, but right now, Adam Alexander is with another top contender in our field.
And that would be Johnny Benson. A great start to 2010 at Daytona, but you did not run Atlanta, driving for Billy Ballou today. How do you take advantage of this opportunity?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. You know, Cowboys put a really good truck together, and just appreciate the opportunity from Billy Ballou, and got Red Top Auto Auction on board for us for this race, and which they did, I think, Steven at Atlanta. So it's a pretty cool deal for us to be able to come and run. And, you know, we've won here before, and our truck's pretty decent, so we'll see how today goes.
Johnny won here October 2008, leading some 46 laps. To Ray Dunlap.
Well, Adam, there's no doubt you're not going to miss Kevin Harvick today with the bright outfit, but the guys will be aware of you in this race, too. The last 3 races you've run in this series with brand new equipment, you went to victory lane. Same situation today. Any different?
I hope not. You caught me while I was eating. But our Tide Chevrolet has been really good since we unloaded. Got to say thanks to all the folks from Kroger for putting this program together. But yeah, I mean, the trucks have been incredible. Hornaday's got the one that we won with at Phoenix, and it's been really good. So we're just going to go try to pit right and do all the things right and stay out of trouble. Anything can happen here.
Okay, Kevin Harvick has the #1 pit stall, and he'll roll off from the pole today here at Martinsville.
That's right, Ray. And as you see Kevin walking away, there is the truck, the #2 on the pole right now. His wife and co-owner, Delana Harvick, standing nearby. This truck looks so good. Not only is Kevin on the pole today, he's also on the pole for tomorrow's Cup race here at Martinsville. He is very good here. Of course, so are a lot of other guys in the field. You're going to hear from a lot more of them. And, you know, Rick Crawford, it's a big day for him. Start number 325. He was on the pole here last year. Earlier this week, Crawford participated in the White House Fatherhood Forum. Very cool. His son Adam is a member of his Circle Bar racing crew. He extends a Truck Series record. We extend the setup at Martinsville next.
Next on the setup, see how some of our drivers spent the 3 weeks since the last truck race. We'll check in with Mike Skinner at the annual Skinner Roundup for charity. And class is in session for the greatest of all time at the first ever Ricky Carmichael University. All this, plus racing from the paperclip when the setup returns, live on Speed.
The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. And brought to you in part by Camping World. The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. We're offering more prizes and more chances to win this year. Log on to campingworld.com and enter today.
Martinsville today in round 5 belongs to Jimmy Hensley.
John Wood comes out of turn 4 and will win in Virginia.
John Wood from Stewart, Virginia, just up the road, doing the big burnout here at Martinsville.
Electrifying the crowd, John Wood climbs out of the number 50 to celebrate.
Checkered flags in the air. Timothy Peters will win at Martinsville.
A huge smile on his face.
Welcome back to the Martinsville Speedway. Well, we told you we were going to move around and show you this whole track. We have moved down onto the track from pit lane. This is down in turn 1. And what we want to show you is one of the most unique features here at Martinsville. You actually see this is a curb, just like you would see maybe in a parking lot or on the street at home. This curb causes drivers so many issues. You will see today drivers get squeezed down low. The bottom of their truck actually hits this curb, tears up their racetrack, and tears up their chances for a good finish. Here at Martinsville, this curbing goes all the way through both turns, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That will definitely be an issue, something to watch for today. You know, Timothy Peters, though, he thinks this track has plenty of curb appeal. This is the site of his very first career NASCAR Truck Series win last year. So this week he celebrated that memory by inviting some of his neighbors to come out to the track and join him.
I like being able to go bring excitement to these people, especially in my hometown. It's emotional to me. It pulls on your heartstrings a little bit. But knowing you can bring these people excitement, it's what it's all about. You, Patricia?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Timothy Peters.
Hey! Oh my God!
Nice to meet you.
You're the race car driver?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
On behalf of Martinsville Speedway and Danville Tourism and Toyota, we want to give you these tickets and hope you're going to come up this weekend.
Oh my! You know, I called my dad. He's 82 and he wanted to be here. But he went to the first Martinsville Speedway in the 50s.
He did.
And he wanted y'all to know that he wanted to be here so bad, but he couldn't. But I am so excited. Yeah. Oh, Lord, yes, let me hug you. I'll be rooting for you.
All right.
Even though my heart has always, Jeff and Warburton.
Hi.
Martinsville Speedway, no doubt a special place for many people, including Timothy Peters, who got his first career win here in October. So how many extra butterflies when you come to race at this place?
It's always extra pressure. I always love coming to Martinsville, and be able to put our Toyota Tundra in victory lane in the fall last year was very special for me. And can't wait to get going. We've got a little butterflies right now, but my daddy always told me that if you wasn't nervous before a race, something was wrong with you.
I've always thought at Christmas time it was better to give than receive. So how did it feel giving the tickets away this week in Danville?
It went really good. To go home to help out some families that to come watch the race was very special. I'd like to thank Downville Tourist and Martinsville Speedway, and I got to deliver them in a beautiful Toyota Camry hybrid. So it's very special. They were overwhelmed and very emotional, so it was cool to do it. But hopefully they're up here pulling for us, and maybe we can end up over there later on.
Riding in style this week, Krista, in a Toyota Camry. He hopes to be riding in style today as well.
A fan favorite here at this track, that is for sure. Speaking of this track, we are still out on here. And, last week, our Cup Series was at Bristol. You stand on that track and you actually stand sideways because of the banking. Here, as you can tell, pretty straight up. This is a flat track down the straightaways, just a little bit of banking in the turns. Very flat, very hard for these guys to drive. One of the guys who drives it better than anyone, Mike Skinner, he spent some of his downtime playing golf and poker with some of his friends for a good cause. It also included a hoedown and an auction, the 4th annual Skinner Roundup. Mike's wife, Angie, took us on a little sneak peek.
Hey race fans, welcome to the 4th annual Toyota Skinner Roundup Hoedown Bash. Follow me and see what this hoedown's all about. Here's our barn. We're selling t-shirts over here. I cut in the line. I know that's rude, but I am the host, so, things like that happen. That is awesome. So here's another one of the activities. It's the wine toss, and you actually try to win a wine bottle. Okay, so I get no wine tonight. All right. Here's my husband trying to pretend like he's a superstar. I want a picture! I want a picture! Woo! So this is what you can do if you come to the hoedown. You get your picture taken with a cowboy, but he's mine. Hands off, girls. There's actually a bracelet that I kind of want to bid on, so follow me. Mike Skinner, you are going to buy your wife a bracelet this evening. That bracelet is mine. Mine!
12 and a half, now 15. It's no hope if you're in it,
So thank you guys, and thanks race fans, and hopefully we'll do it again next year. See
Come
ya.
to the hoedown. Peace out.
We gotta go dance now.
And how about $150,000 raised for local charities at the Skinner Roundup? That was pretty cool, but I remember something else that was cool. In 2007, you won both races here at Martinsville. Can you do it today?
Well, we certainly hope so. I know our Tundra is really, really good. The International Monaco RV's Tundra has struggled a little bit in practice, but normally we're really, really loose the whole practice and we push the whole race. So we left a little bit of that free in it. I'm a little bit concerned watching the Cup cars, but it's a little bit different tires, so we'll see what happens, but I think our truck's pretty darn good.
One pit stop or two today, Mike?
Ask Gene.
I think that's a no comment. I'm not sure. Krista?
That's great. That would be Gene Need as crew chief for Mike Skinner. Very good here indeed. I'm now sitting on the wall. As we talked about, very tight pit stalls here at Martinsville. That could play a factor, whether it's one stop or two for Skinner and the boys. Skinner, very good. I wonder if one of his wins ranks as Phil Parsons or Michael Waltrip's favorite memory. Rick Allen, Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip upstairs getting ready for this race. Hi, boys.
How you doing, Krista? Actually, these guys have got a lot of choices. There were 22 previous races. Is Mike Skinner's, one of Mike Skinner's wins, one of your memory lane lookbacks?
No. You? No, I don't think so. I mean, they were great, certainly, but what was your favorite memory?
My favorite memory goes back 13 years ago this September when my hair looked just like that.
That is beautiful. Let me tell you, Mike, you look great.
It was 1997 when Rich Bickle won here at Martinsville. He started on the pole. He led over 200 laps. You can see Bickle as they go down into turn one here. That's him leading the charge with Ernie Irvin and Mike Bliss in hot pursuit. We're looking at him from Jimmy Hensley's camera, but Rich Bickle drove away from him to win that race. So you might ask, Mike, why is that so special to you? Well, my brother Daryl owns that 17 truck that drives away with the victory. Big for Daryl and big for the Waltrips. And my beautiful daughter Macy was born just 2 days later on the Monday following the races here in Martinsville that weekend. So it was a fun weekend for the Waltrips.
And Phil, how about you down memory lane?
And it was pretty good for Rich Bickle, too.
It wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. I'm telling you, I want to go back to 2004. Rick Crawford. I really want to go back to about 5 weeks before the race here at Martinsville. That was Rick making contact with Tina Gordon right there. And then his throttle hangs, no brakes, and it knocked him out. And he made extremely hard contact with the outside wall. Then he comes to Martinsville 5 weeks later. He broke his left foot in that accident. No place on earth that you use the brakes any more than you do here. Use that left foot. And Rick slayed him that day. He led a bunch of this race. He held off Dennis Setzer, the short track master, on a green-white checker to give he and Gene Need their first win together, Rick Crawford's third career win. What a great day for Rick Crawford, and maybe one that he may want to repeat maybe today.
Well, you know what the theme is here, green-white checkers, and that's what I love about Martinsville. We're liable to see one of those this afternoon.
Well, Rich Bickle isn't in this race today, but Rick Crawford is, and he's making his 325th start in the Camping World Truck Series. Krista?
Yes, indeed. 325, a big number. You know, Hermie Sadler also in the field making his 325th NASCAR start. A lot of great storylines today and such a great track. You know, that's what the boys upstairs are saying, but what are some of our drivers tweeting? Yes, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is on Twitter. Make sure and log on to follow us now. Here's some of our favorite tweets of the last couple weeks. You know, Jennifer Cho Cobb is hoping her lead foot wasn't wasted yesterday. She had a speeding ticket on her way into the track. She was worried she'd miss the rookie meeting. Now, apparently, Matt Crafton is not joining the PGA Tour anytime soon. Before hitting the links, he warned the neighbors' dogs. And Timothy Peters testing during some of the downtime. He tweeted about it. Our drivers are following our tweets. Be sure you do the same. More from Martinsville on our Polaris setup. The drivers getting ready. They can't wait to take on this tough Virginia track. Stick with us on Speed. More to show you here from Martinsville. There's the GOAT. Stick around. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. And brought to you in part by Camping World. Visit Camping World RV Sales and check out the new Freedom Elite motorhome starting at only $49,995. Earlier today, Speed fans who bought a ticket to today's race got a bonus breakfast with some drivers. We were there too. Rick, Phil, Michael, Ray, and myself, joined by Kevin Harvick, Ricky Carmichael, and Timothy Peters. Fans got to ask questions and get autographs at the Speed Grub and Rub. Welcome back to Martinsville. Speaking of Grub, well, we are at the busiest place in the Martinsville garage. That would be the hot dog stand. All of these folks in line to get their now world famous Jesse Jones Martinsville hot dog. It is a delicacy. This is the only place you can get them. And rumor is Ray has had about 10 this weekend. And by the way, once this race starts, you'll see crew members, some people, the lines will still be long. It is definitely one of the hottest tickets inside the garage. The hot dog. We'll show you one in just a bit, but what we want to tell you is Ricky Carmichael, after that great sixth place finish in Atlanta, well, he hopped on a plane down to Daytona. He was part of Speed's Supercross broadcast, and he knows the track well. After all, he designed it, and the next day he held the very first Ricky Carmichael University.
We've always hinted around about doing schools. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do, but when we came up with this idea to have an amateur race, we're like, man, we should have the Ricky Carmichael University the day after.
It was testimony when we first went live with this in January, how quickly it sold out.
I follow Ricky Carmichael on Twitter, and I saw one day he said, hey, I'm having RCU, Ricky Carmichael University, check it out.
They're telling you what to do. You got to listen to them. They know what they're doing. They know how to get you better. And like I said, they are a huge part of the puzzle.
We've got 110 guys. We broke the track down into five sessions, and each one of us have a section, and it's going awesome.
And some of them are doing starts. Some of them may be doing double jumps. You got rhythm sections and whoop sections and the different aspects of racing.
I think it's really important to help the young kids, obviously, that want to someday be where I was, or the recent current pros right now, to help them.
Going to Ricky Carmichael University is kind of like going to, Richard Petty University. He is the man. That's how simple it is.
You know, it's so cool to have Kyle Petty here in Rutledge.
I don't know anything about riding dirt bikes. I've always rode street bikes. I've been on some dirt bikes, but never on a track.
We were fortunate enough that our parents seen that, okay, they got some talent, they want this. I see it in their actions and their hard work. At that age, it's taking care of, being dedicated to help out with the bikes and air filters and all this stuff.
It's important that this is a family organization.
I believe that every student will leave here with much more knowledge than they came with, and will be much quicker and more efficient on the track.
I enjoy the fans. I love the sport, so I'll always be in the sport somehow, some way.
Real cool story on Ricky Carmichael University. That was a difficult track you had down there, but how about the difficulty of this track and your job today?
Right now I'm thinking that this place is a lot harder, and my job today is a lot harder. You know, I don't know what to think. I really don't. Obviously, this being a short track, and you gotta be right, you know. So I just want to make it 250 laps, and if we do that, I think we're going to be good. I really got to pull from my knowledge that I learned of winning championships in motocross and being able to be there at the end and not be a hero in the first 20 laps. That's my motto today, and we'll see what happens.
All right, the Ford truck rolls off 12th. Adam?
And NASCAR history will be made today, Ray. Never has an Indian-born driver driven in NASCAR, but that will change here this afternoon. Narain Karthikeyan making his NASCAR debut. I know a lot of people have told you what you need to do in this race. What would make today successful for you?
Yeah, getting to the finish would be successful, but people have told me it's going to be really hard, and there's going to be a lot of bumping and stuff. But I would like to keep out of trouble and bring it home.
Nothing like the diversity of the Camping World Truck Series, Krista.
Yeah, I'm down here trying to line up a hot dog because I promised to show you one. So the guys here at Martinsville Speedway, nice enough to get me one. So we'll show you that in a second. But what we do want to talk about is something else you should check out. Besides the hot dogs, you should check out Pit Road Pets, The Second Lap. It's Ryan and Chrissy Newman's new book featuring tons of NASCAR drivers, NASCAR community members with their pets. Yes, I'm in the book with a shelter dog, Ruby, and I'm so proud to say that Ruby was adopted a week after that photo was taken. That's our Truck Series director, Wayne Otten. There you see Mikey. So many of the Truck Series drivers. I know Mike Skinner's in the book, Ron Hornaday. It's really cool, a great project. You can check out Ryan Newman's website for more. And in fact, our Truck Series family, some of their pets. We wanted to show you some of these guys are members of our family. We do want to point out that Ray Dunlap's cat, Sweetie, did not make the cut because she lives in the garage, doesn't have a television, so she doesn't know that she's missing. But there are some of our folks. Bubbles is a fish. And we also have some of our behind-the-scenes people, from Marty to Bunches, Chica to Bella. So many of these pets, members of our family. We thank Ryan and Chrissy Newman for all the work that they do. And here at Martinsville, we told you that racing is big, so are the hot dogs, and mine's got my name waiting on it.
In 9 years of truck racing in Nashville, 8 different drivers have sung a victory song. See who will be the latest to get the guitar next Friday. Krista opens the show with the setup at 7:30. Then, the headliners take to the track for the 10th Truck Series race at Nashville Super Speedway. Don't miss a second of the action. Live on Speed.
Sprint Cup Series off next week. The trucks are not. It's a truck and nationwide doubleheader in Nashville. Start your Easter weekend by joining us for practice, qualifying, and racing on Friday from Nashville. Of course, a lot of racing still here, and we promise you here is the hot dog. I actually have never, ever bit into one of these. I'm going to do it for you right now. We're talking from Martinsville. Next.
It's where champions got their first win. It's where winners made their first start.
Timothy Peters will win at Martinsville.
It's where tempers get the best of drivers.
Williams are on to go. Kevin Harvick done for the day because he said on the radio before it happened, I'm going to go get him. NASCAR said you're not going to race anymore.
It's where the best trucks don't always win.
Oh, he's out of gas. He's out of gas.
It's history.
Martinsville Speedway, the long-awaited sign of race trucks taking to the racetrack.
It's emotion.
Yeah, this is for Bobby. It's like I say, it carries on his legacy right there.
It's truck racing from Martinsville. And it's live on Speed.
A gorgeous afternoon for short track racing for the Camping World Truck Series. Welcome to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Kroger 250 from Martinsville Speedway on Speed. Some interesting numbers coming from Martinsville. We'll have 7 first-timers in the Camping World Truck Series making their first ever starts right here. We have 6 former winners that are in this field, but probably the most amazing numbers are that 2 drivers that have 62 wins between them have never been to victory lane. One of those being Todd Bodine, the other being 4-time series champion Ron Hornaday. Has never been to victory lane at Martinsville, but he has 45 wins to his name. Let's get our pre-race ceremonies underway. We go trackside.
At this time, please rise and remove your hats for the presentation of colors today, our invocation and national anthem. Our colors today presented by the Magna Vista High School Junior ROTC. For today's invocation from Raceway Ministries, Roger Marsh.
Please bow with me as we pray. Heavenly Father, as we gather today for the excitement of NASCAR Camping World Truck Series racing here at Martinsville Speedway, we thank you for every blessing that you bring our way. We're grateful especially, Lord, for the freedom that we enjoy, and we ask you, Lord, to protect and watch over those who are fighting for that freedom around the world. Father, we now turn our attention to today's race, and we ask you to be with all the teams and competitors. Please protect them as they give their very best to today's race. In Jesus' name I pray it. Amen.
And now for our national anthem today, the Martinsville High School Brass Ensemble. The Martinsville High School Brass Ensemble.
Great crowd on hand. Nashville has the guitar. Memphis, the Elvis Trophy. Right here, you get a grandfather clock if you make it to victory lane. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. Visit Camping World RV Sales and check out the Freedom Elite motorhome starting at only $49,995. And by the Spotsifier. Visit ToyotaRacing.com and click on Design It, Enter It. Gorgeous afternoon for racing. A beautiful area here in Martinsville, Virginia, as we're getting ready for short track racing. But before we do that, let's go back to pit road to Chris Devoda and the Polaris reset-up.
Yeah, time to tell you the top stories to look out for. Now, we told you things could get hairy quickly. That's because these guys had less track time than they're used to. Qualifying was rained out, practice shortened. Kevin Harvick on the pole. The Tide Ride is back. DW has to be loving that, the number 2 on the pole. Also, 7 drivers making their Truck Series debut. And a driver change. Brian Eichler is driving the truck Kyle Busch was supposed to, but that's because Kyle is racing in Nashville. He promised Eichler 10 races. He said he wanted to make good on that promise. Hey, also an extra bonus. While you're watching the race, log on to speedtv.com for Truck Race Buddy. You have special camera views. You can be your own director. So it's a little bit of a bonus while you're watching the boys. The Speed Truck Buddy on speedtv.com. Rick, some of the stories to keep an eye on today.
And there are a lot of stories, Krista. Thank you for that reset up. Phil, I have a question. A lot of guys keep talking about strategy. What strategy they're going to implement today?
Well, remember last year we had different pit rules. You could only change tires and fuel on different pit stops. You couldn't do both on the same. Well, that's all gone now. Now you can pit for fuel and tires on the same pit stop. This historically has been a race that was won with one pit stop. You would come in, get in your pit window, whether that's 60, 70, 80 laps, come in, put tires and fuel, and go to the rest of the way for track position. All the talk in the garage area is these tires are wearing more. Goodyear brought a different tire this year than last year. They're wearing more than they used to. Everyone in the garage area says now this is going to be a 2 pit stop race.
And so people are worried. Strategy is going to make a big difference in how this race unfolds today. When you get worried, you get heartburn. And when you eat those hot dogs, you get heartburn. So there's a lot of stuff going on down on pit road right now. But the starting lineup's all mixed up. Harvick's on the pole. Hornaday's back in 31st because we're starting by last year's points. So that's all messed up. So people are saying, why is Harvick on the pole? Why isn't Hornaday? And then when this race starts, when they throw the green flag, they're probably going to be saying, where'd Harvick go? He's that good. He could drive away from these guys.
So strategy obviously is going to play a big role in it. What will Hornaday do to have a better finish tonight? Let's go trackside again for our command.
Here to give the command, welcome back our Grand Marshal from Boy Scout Troop 184, James Davis.
Drivers, start your engines!
An excellent command given by that little Boy Scouts named James. An excellent job, and we will be back with a green flag next. Welcome back to the Kroger 250 from Martinsville Speedway, just outside of Martinsville, Virginia. Gorgeous day for racing, as we have mentioned. Blue skies above. It was rainy yesterday. That's why qualifying was canceled. Today, 53 degrees, a slight breeze, and again, clear skies above. Take a look at our ZMAX track description of this paper clip, just over half-mile track.
Michael, one of the most unique racetracks probably that we will ever race on. Two long, relatively long straightaways followed by two 180-degree turns. It looks like you can actually walk from the front stretch to the back stretch of this racetrack in about 15 seconds.
And you know, this is one of the few tracks, Phil, we race on that the corners are just alike. You go down turn 1 and 2, what you're going to get when you get 3 and 4 is about, you know, it's the same thing. A lot of times it takes a little different line in each end of the track. Here, it's exactly the same.
Here's our Toyota race analysis.
Here's the pit window, 140, 150 laps. Again, we're talking about 2 pit stops. If this race went green from the start, they could go about 140, 150 laps, but they're going to be coming in before that.
We're going to shine a light on a few different drivers. We like to do that here on Speed. And we will begin with Ray Dunlap. Who's in your spotlight?
Well, Rick, today I'm looking at Clay Greenfield. I'll tell you what, his 33rd starting position is not indicative of how well he has run here this weekend. He started out with URA late models down around the Nashville area. He's got one big win at Nashville Fairgrounds and one start in the ARCA Remax Series. But he said today he knows his truck's good enough to get up and get a top 10. He'll have to use a bit of patience to work his way from the back of the field. Adam?
Brian Johnson Jr. will make his debut today in the 76 truck. The 30-year-old from Illinois won the 09 ARCA West Championship. 6 poles and 4 victories in 12 starts. He hopes today lays the foundation for a strong future, and he's already told me, regardless of what happens today, he will drive this truck next week in Nashville. Phil?
Adam, I want to take a look at the number 60 truck. That's Narain Karthikeyan from India. We talked to him earlier in the setup show. Narain is one of the most popular athletes in all of India. He won in every series he raced in, which got him an opportunity to race for the Eddie Jordan Formula One team in 2005. He had a 4th place finish in the U.S. Grand Prix that year. Then he was a test driver for Frank Williams' F1 team for a couple years. Narain will run at least 10 races in this number 60 truck for Stacy Compton's team. He will start 11th today. Mikey.
Phil, let's take a look at Chris Eggleston. Chris is a guy that's having a birthday today. It's his 21st birthday, and I was looking at his bio. It said 1994, he started racing quarter midgets. Then I did some math. He was born in '89. That means he's 4 or 5 years old. He's already behind the wheel of a racing vehicle, and he has progressed through the ranks and now getting to make a NASCAR Camping World Series truck start today. I talked to his crew chief, Butch Miller. He said, this kid has got it, Mike. He understands exactly what this truck needs, and I love working with him.
We will be showing you some beautiful pictures all day from Martinsville. Some of those will be inside of trucks and the views that they have. We'll ride along with Timothy Peters. He starts in the 5th position. We've also got a camera on board with Jason White. He'll start 17th, back where all the action will be taking place. Back there a little further, Ron Hornaday starts 31st and also carries one of our cameras. And Hermie Sadler, starting in the 21st position, will also have a camera on board.
You got to check this truck out, man. This is a really cool looking truck. See his fire suit. It's got
the autism puzzle pieces on it. Very, very involved. You see Sadler Foundation on the hood. I think Hermie's going to try to run 3 races this year. Both races here at Martinsville and also the Bristol race.
We've got just about 1 lap to go before the green flag flies. Let's get our thoughts before green as we go trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Rick, in the last 3 races that Kevin Harvick has brought out brand new equipment, he went to victory lane. And today, chassis number 43 makes its debut, and that's bad news for the rest of the competition. Imagine this, though. Kevin Harvick has only led 11 laps here at Martinsville. But I'll tell you what, that's going to be very, very different today. It's going to be tough to get past that number 2 truck. Adam?
Kevin Harvick's teammate and employee, Ron Hornaday Jr. is a 4-time champion. He won the event, won the series championship a year ago, but 2010 has not been good for him. Compare last year to this year, you see Hornaday well off pace. He starts 31st today after starting 4th in this race 1 season ago, but there's a bull on the hood, and something tells me that bull going to be moving drivers out of the way. Watch the 33 as he tries to make his way to the front here this afternoon.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Adam. Here they come out of turn number 4. Kevin Harvick pacing the field. Green flag in the air. We're underway from Martinsville. A very tight turn 1 and 2, and we're already 3 wide going through 1 and 2.
So Max Pappas, the 9 Geico truck, on the very outside, 3 wide.
See Jennifer Jo Cobb there. Some of the trucks beginning to work to the inside.
Matt Crafton has settled into the 2nd position. Timothy Peters 3rd, side by side for 4th right now.
Gentlemen, this racetrack, 250 laps. I know that's not a lot of time, but where do you pass on this racetrack?
Well, early in the going, you go wherever they aren't, Rick. The guys are running high, guys are running low. Ron Hornaday went from 3rd. Oh, we got to spin down in turn 3 and 4.
Sideways is the 21.
That's my guy.
Your guy, Chris Egglestone.
That's not.
Excuse me.
Okay, got it running. Just roll. Let's roll.
No caution.
He gets it pointed the right direction. Here comes Harvick right behind him.
No caution. That's no way to treat a guy on his birthday. Don't throw him a complimentary birthday caution.
We stay green. Harvick will look to the inside as he'll try to get by. Now the first truck that he will put a lap down. Again, Chris Eggleston spinning in turn 3, gets it straightened back out. We stay green.
Check out Hornaday. He went from 31st to 24th on the first lap. So you ask, how do you pass? You just go down in the corner, and if they're bunched up down low, you go high.
That's the 18 truck, normally driven by Kyle Busch, will be driven by Brian Eichler, as we reported earlier, right in front of him. Kenny Schrader, the 52 Federated truck, right behind.
Very close call there for the 76 of Brian Johnson Jr. He got a little wild, almost into the wall, but stays out.
Talked to Schrader last night. He's really happy with his truck in practice. Is looking forward to the race today. Doesn't get to run very much in the truck series. He runs a lot of dirt races around the country, and certainly looking forward to this opportunity today.
Kenny's a man of many words. I asked him this morning, how's your truck, Ken? He said, well, I'll tell you about 3:30 or 4 today. Take a look at the distance between truck number 2 and truck 88. Those are 1 and 2 on the racetrack, but 1.7 seconds already separate the two.
You know, we talked last fall, Phil, in a few of those races, especially Phoenix comes to mind. Kevin Harvick had those people beat before they threw the green flag. Everybody in the whole garage area was worried about what Harvick was going to do and how he's going to run, and he drove away from him early. Same thing's happening here, but I think guys have more confidence that they can keep up with Harvick here at Martinsville. They didn't express the same sentiment as they had out in Arizona. They said, we are on the same level as Kevin.
Right now, Kevin Harvick is running fast laps, but I tell you, Johnny Sauter is the 2nd fastest truck on the racetrack right there. You see Narain Karthikeyan, the 60 truck, trying to figure out his way around here. This is a situation he has never been in before in his entire life. This is so foreign from open wheel racing that he's going to get a real baptism here.
Learning experience for the 60 of Narain Karthikeyan.
Now, Narain's from India. Max Pappas is from Italy.
Max
Surely
Pappas comes up and says hello.
Yeah, those two countries collided. But that was an
international incident there.
That was not Max's fault, though. Max was down on the curb. Narain decided he needed to get over to the left, and Max had already got his way into that space. And that's what Narain's going to have to get used to, is a lot of vehicles occupying or attempting to occupy the same space.
2 seconds separate the 2 of Kevin Harvick and the 88 of Matt Crafton. They run 1-2. Timothy Peters, a winner a year ago at this racetrack. Mike Skinner, a 3-time winner in 4th. And Johnny Sauter holding on to the 5th spot. Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway. Green flag still out for the Kroger 250 in the Camping World Truck Series. Our aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Learn how to win $1 million. Go to directv.com/NASCAR.
You know what I love about this place still? It's the slowest track we have, but the action is so intense. It feels so fast, and you're right up next to it, man. You can get right down next to these trucks and watch them rub and bang. Man, it's a great day in Martinsville.
And as small as it is, you would think you'd be able to keep your eye on all the action.
No,
but you can't.
No, you want to look at everything.
Yep.
Kevin Harvick now putting a few more trucks a lap down. Shane Sieg off the racetrack early.
Just got your guy. Phil Narain Carthaginian went down a lap.
He just wants to run all the laps. Remember, he told, I think, Ray or Adam before the race, just wants to run all the laps. That's his goal for here, and I think that's a great goal. And if he can accomplish that, he'll be that much ahead in his NASCAR career.
Matt Crafton running second now in the 88 truck. Timothy Peters still holding on to the third spot. Trucks all the way around the racetrack now. They've spread out.
Nice and smooth, brother. We'll get you fixed up. Keep fighting.
Riding along with our buddy Hermie Sadler. While we're in commercial, Hermie had a bit of an anxious moment. Hermie started so far back, obviously very close to the leader. There's a leader, Kevin Harvick, right behind Hermie.
Gets a little
Hermie's
bit
on the outside. He got a little bit loose there. Nice save though by Hermie.
He said, I did a great job saving it. Oh, there went the leader. Good news, bad news.
You always hear about racetracks like this where you have to be very easy into the accelerator. Is that a situation where Hermie maybe got into it a little bit harder and broke the rear wheels loose?
Well, anytime the leader's approaching, your sense of urgency certainly goes way up. And when you're out of the groove, he was up on the high side, you even have to be more careful with getting the gas down. So yes, Rick, he probably got after the gas a little hard, hoped it would hold it, thought it would hold it, but he just didn't get the traction.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of rubber built up on the outside, but you can see the black marks definitely on the inside of the racetrack. But when all the lapping begins, we're going to get a lot more rubber down. But it was pretty early in the race. Not a whole lot of rubber or grip up there on the high side. Say that Johnny Sauter truck, that 13 Sealmaster Chevrolet, is on the move. He was able to get by Mike Skinner for the 4th position while we were away at commercial. And now he's closed right up on the back of Timothy Peters.
You know, we have timing and scoring here in the booth, and we can watch these guys' times. And when the track's clear, Harvick can run around, right around about a 20, 30, 20, 40 second lap. And the same thing for Johnny Sauter. He can match Harvick's pace. He's just trapped back in the 4th spot right now.
He knows there's a lot of time in this race. No reason to have a sense of urgency. We're only 26 laps into a 250 lap race. Ooh, trouble on the racetrack.
Problem with the number 7 of Justin Lofton. He is into the wall.
Hard into the wall.
Teammate of the 17 of Timothy Peters, currently running in the 3rd spot.
Justin was running in the top 10. He was running in the 10th position.
Looked like he almost decided to go a hole that wasn't there.
Heard the spotter say 89 got him. That's Chris Lafferty. We're not sure if that's what happened, but it's possible when you come to Martinsville. A lot of damage to the front end of that race truck.
He's our ARCA champion from last year.
Let's take a glance back.
Look at right of your screen. The 89 truck was definitely the truck behind him. So,
and the 89 was a couple of laps off the pace, and Justin ran along on the lead lap. So you don't know if Justin maybe tried to take the corner and the 89 didn't realize he was going to do so. It's really hard to communicate your intentions here at Martinsville. Things happen so quickly.
Phil, you touched on it earlier. Strategy is going to be a big thing as to who wins this race. Pit road was open. No one took it. And so we will take a break and be right back to the green flag. Welcome back. Coming out of turn 4 is the field, getting ready for the restart of the Kroger 250. Green flag back in the air. Double file restart in the Camping World Truck Series.
Could be the break Timothy Peters is looking for. He looked like he was a little faster than Matt Crafton, but couldn't get around him. Now he's down on the inside of Matt.
Little rubbing.
He definitely has the preferred line on the inside of the racetrack, especially this early on.
You can see him drive away from him. Can Sauter fill that hole, get on the inside of Crafton?
Remember, they're teammates. If anybody's going to give Johnny a little room, it's going to be his teammate, and he did.
It's like,
as we went away to break, I had mentioned that nobody was coming down to pit road. Well, the 33 did come on to pit road, and Adam, it seemed like they came twice. What was the problem there?
They did come 2 times, and the reason they did that, Rick, is their first time down pit road, as deep as they were in the field and as tight as this track is, they felt like if they changed all 4 tires, they might lose a lap on pit road. So they were going to come twice. Right side tires the first time, left side's the second time. But when they came down pit road that second time, they realized we're going to miss the restart. restart if we put tires on. So he just did a drive through the second time around at lap 29. Hornaday back on track, and right now he is being scored right around the 20th position. So Hornaday didn't really lose a lot of track position, and I'm sure they're going to play a strategy game to try to get to the front based on where they started this race. Ray?
Timothy Peters with a real good truck right behind Kevin Harvick, now running in the second position. Came on the radio and told his crew chief Jeff Hensley, I'm a little bit tight through the center. I'm going to try to work on it by adjusting brake bias. Jeff Hensley told me right before this race started that he plans on this being a one-stop race for them. Now here's the question, Phil and Michael. If you're going to readjust your strategy and go one stop, do you try to do that later than lap 100? Hensley said he might want to wait till about 150 to have fresher tires towards the end.
Well, the thing that's different this race, Phil, is people are on different agendas. Usually if everybody is going to make one stop, you wanted to make that stop as soon as you can. But with all the talk of 2 stops, maybe, possibility, you might want to run your first set on out to lap 150. We haven't seen that lately be successful here at Martinsville. Check this battle out.
Great battle. Rick Crawford, the 14 truck, Circle Bar truck leading this group. Brian Eichler, the 18. There comes Todd Bodine. Remember, never a winner on the short track in the Camping World Truck Series. And there's Austin Dillon, who's been very, very impressive. Had a great finish last week at Atlanta. Looking for another top 10 here.
Todd Bodine sliding all over this racetrack.
Just can't quite get down to the bottom of the track. That hole is filled up there right quickly by Taylor Mossam, and here comes Ricky Carmichael trying to get down on the inside of Todd.
He gets a little bit of a wiggle up off the corner as he jumped in the throttle. Kenny Schrader, that Federated truck right behind him, the 52.
These trucks are all up inside the top 15 racing for spots. So Schrader's progressed from his starting spot in the 20s up to the top 15, and things are going to get tough from here on up, Bill.
Guys, we see Kenny Schrader in that 52 truck. On April 18th, he's going to have a play day at Peevely. Fans can come out of the stands and drive a dirt modified at Peevely. The first, 300 people or something like that sign up, and you can do it at SchraderRacing.com. Can drive a dirt modified at Peevely, one of Schrader's racetracks.
Are we off that week? Because I'd love to run into this dirt late models.
We've both done it at Peevely, and it's a blast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a perfect place to race dirt cars for sure, and they do a great job. These guys are mixing it up. It looked like Johnny Sauter was on the inside of Timothy Peters down into turn 3. Timothy cut him off, and Johnny hit him right back to say, listen, man, I was there.
As we were talking, that Sauter truck appears to maybe be somebody that may be able to match Kevin Harvick's speed. He's been very, very fast when he has clean racetrack, Rick.
Remember on the restart, it was Kevin Harvick that was number 1, and the 88 of Matt Crafton was 2. And so Matt Crafton has been shuffled back to the 4th spot now because Timothy Peters and Johnny Sauter both got by on the restart because of track position. I mean, Matt Crafton was on the outside. He got shuffled back.
There's Johnny Benson, takes over the 6th spot from David Starr. He's going to bring his teammate Eric Almirola with him. That's 6th and 7th now. JB and Eric Almirola. David Starr back to 8th.
Kevin Harvick continues to set the pace here as he has a 1-second lead over second place Timothy Peters.
That is a nice looking truck right there, isn't it?
I bet you DW's smiling looking at that tide ride.
You know he is. You know he is.
Kevin Harvick leads the top 5 from the paperclip Martinsville Speedway. Close confines, and every now and then someone gets sideways and even backwards. That's because it's tight here at Martinsville. Tomorrow, NASCAR race day marches into Martinsville. The King, Richard Petty, will join us live, plus Junior Johnson and Ned Jarrett welcome Jimmy Johnson to the prestigious 50-win club. It's all on NASCAR race day, built by the Home Depot, live from Martinsville tomorrow at 10 Eastern, only on Speed.
What a great facility there. Look at that place. Man.
Oh, it's so fun to come here. Racing like it used to be.
Everyone talks about Martinsville. 2 drag strips side by side with turns at the ends.
Kevin Harvick is saying it's racing like it used to be. Last year, this race, he won the thing.
Yeah,
well, you
trying to be dominant.
Talk about last year. Since the start of the 09 season, when Harvick raced all last year and to date, you know what his average finishing position is?
About second.
Second. Now, how can
Not just about second.
We're talking over a year that he was able to accomplish that. He didn't run all the races.
It's not like it was 3 starts either. I mean, it's several starts.
How amazing is that, and how confident does that make him feel when he gets in that truck? You're talking about giving people heartburn, and it wasn't because of the hot dogs.
There's Kyle Busch, truck owner, multi-team truck owner on your left of your screen. That's his driver right there, Brian Eichler. Started all the way back in the 32nd position and already made his way up to 7th. What a great early run.
Kyle's got to feel good about that. Let's go down trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, you may have looked at the entry list early in the week and saw Kyle Busch was scheduled to run this race, and he was, but they got a sponsorship opportunity put together for our next race at Nashville, and Kyle said, well, if I'm going to run Nashville, that bumps Brian Eichler out of one of his races. And they said, where can we run him? Kyle said, why don't we just let him run this week? Brian Eichler had tested this truck at 2 tracks, at New Smyrna and at Motor Mile, and he had been in it with lots and lots of laps, and he really liked that truck. And it looks like we're going to get a flat left front tire possibly on Rick Crawford. That could bring out the caution here, guys. We'll keep an eye on Crawford. But real quick, just to finish on the 18 story, Brian Eichler moving through the field, and yes, Crawford headed to the pits.
Yeah, horrible break for Rick Crawford. He's going to lose at least 2, maybe even 3 laps coming to pit road to get that circle bar truck repaired.
And we saw that tire go down, and there was low tire pressure normally on the left sides anyway, but there's not an inner liner here, so that tire was shredding, but it doesn't look like anything went onto the racetrack.
Yeah, he's going to pull in and get that left front tire changed.
We'll keep an eye and see how many laps he does lose. But
watch him try to get it jacked up, Phil. The truck is so low on the left side, it's hard to get that jack under there. They finally make it.
But things are different now with the double file restarts and the waiver rounds. It used to, if you got more than 1 lap down, you never had hardly any chance of getting back on the lead lap. But with the waiver rounds and the lucky dogs, now you have an opportunity to do that with enough cautions. Adam, what's going on with Kevin Harvick?
It's just a nice Saturday afternoon drive for the driver of the 2 as he tries to put Donnie Neuenberger a lap down, and when he goes by him, he will have lapped up inside the top 20. So he has been very impressive here this afternoon, as Kevin Harvick. Actually, that's DJ Kennington riding back in the 23rd position in the 6th truck. So Kevin Harvick very quick here in the early going, although he did say on the radio, I need an adjustment when we come in. I am a little bit loose. And his crew chief Butch Hilton said we can make that adjustment. Their pit stop expected to come sometime after lap 70. I would say the next time we see the caution, we will see Kevin Harvick on pit road. No caution as Johnny Benson goes around.
Wow. NASCAR's letting these boys go at it today, Phil. It looks like he might have a flat tire.
If Johnny Benson gets turned around, he got up into those marbles.
He's got obviously some buildup on the tires, the marbles that come off these tires. What a great battle right here. That's Brian Eichler, the 18 on the inside, Mike Skinner, the 5 on the outside. That is a battle for the 6th spot. Eric Almirola just got by Mike Skinner for the 5th position just a couple laps ago.
Everywhere Almirola goes, here comes the 18 of Brian Eichler. These guys are marching up through the top 10.
Strong runs all around the racetrack.
There's Jay White, the gun broker Dodge, right there, the 23, our pole sitter from Daytona. And there's a tire monkey, Mario Goslin, the 12 truck. He has an early run, good run going in 13th.
You know, I'm impressed with Ron, aren't you, Phil? They went to pit road and didn't get all the service done they hoped to, so he restarted last. He's methodically worked his way up inside the top 15, all over the tire monkey there. Gonna grab that spot, I would guess, in a lap or 2, but he's been real patient, and these guys have got a pretty good gap over the leader. They're not in any danger right now of going a lap down, so they can be patient. Action picks up when you get down there to the bottom of the top 20 and the leader's pressuring you.
This is really one of our first short tracks that we've run since the rule has been changed to the double file restart, which means you don't have to go by all of the lapped vehicles that you normally had to on a restart. So does that help a guy like Ron Hornaday, who is on the lead lap? He went down on pit road. Does that give him a big advantage?
Well, it didn't on this restart because he started behind all that mess from having extra pit stops. But yes, Rick, eventually that will help him in making his way to the front. He's established now in a position where he can go up there and grab him a top 5 spot because of the way he's running.
Rick, you're exactly right. Before the old rules, if he was running in the 15th position, he would restart in the 30th position. Right. Now, if he's running 15th, he's going to restart 15th.
Adam Alexander.
And the other thing Hornaday has been doing on this run, taking care of his tires, because when the caution comes out and guys like Harvick, Sauter, Crafton, Peters, and Almirola come to pit road, as you pointed out, Hornaday will stay on the track most likely. And given that circumstance, he wants to take care of these tires so on that next run he can be competitive out front.
76 of Brian Johnson Jr. slowing. Looks like he might be making his way onto pit road now.
He's one of the 7 drivers.
Fuel, right side, no fuel.
One of the 7 drivers making his first start. He was one of our spotlight drivers.
See Hornaday here mixing it up with David Starr. It's Ricky Carmichael.
Ricky Carmichael getting by David Starr. Remember, David Starr is a former winner here at Martinsville.
That puts Carmichael into the top 10. Hornaday follows through into 11th.
Great side-by-side battling continuing all around the racetrack. Jason White on the inside, David Starr on the outside. Here comes Mario Goslin in that number 12 tire monkey.
Johnny Benson has recovered. Now he's right behind the 81 of David Starr.
He thought he had a flat. I guess it's all that rubber that he got built up on his tires when he spun up high, Phil. You can see there's our leader, Kevin Harvick, just put the 47 truck of Brett Butler a lap down. So now he's starting to work on that top 20. Brett's running in the 21st spot in his truck.
There's Rick Crawford, the 14 truck, right in front of Kevin Harvick. Remember that flat tire that caused Rick to come to pit road.
19 now on the lead lap, right?
Johnny Sauter running in second in that Sealmaster truck, but he just came on the radio and said, I'm starting to develop a front tire problem. Crew Chief Joe Shear Jr. said, do you know which one? He said, it's feeling like it's the right front, but I'm not totally sure. He said, we have to pit as soon as possible.
You know, Goodyear actually brought a little different tire here, and they say really the only difference from last year is they toughened up the bead where you get that bead heat from the brakes.
So Johnny Sauter trying to make his way toward the front as he sits second, and we've got a spin on the racetrack. That's the 46 of Clay Greenfield. Will that bring the caution out? Yes, it does.
And this will be the first opportunity for a lot of the front-running trucks to make their decision.
Don't hit the curb when you go down there.
These trucks are pitting, don't you think, Phil?
I think they are. We're almost 75 laps into this race.
And then if they do
then you
pit,
still have an option of coming back later. There's Butch Hilton just taking over this 2 truck since Atlanta.
Our second caution of the day from Martinsville as we've completed 74 laps of the 250 scheduled. A lot of people talking about what strategy they would use for coming onto pit road. Here's a look at what happened.
That was Rick Crawford, the 14, right in front of our leader, Kevin Harvick.
I told you action would pick up when the leaders got to your back bumper, and that's exactly Crawford said, I got to go. Hits Clay Greenfield and spins him around.
Just slight contact, but that's all it takes.
Pit road is open, and here come the leaders. That is Kevin Harvick leading the field down pit road. Right.
Down on my end, it'll be Johnny Sauter hitting first. He is in pit stall number 29. Sauter said that he feels like they got to get that front tire looked at. They're going to go 4 tires across this way and make an air pressure adjustment on the right sides there to try to help him roll through the center a little bit. Adam?
And his teammate just up the road, Matt Crafton, comes in. Right side tires going on. It will be a 4-tire stop for the 88. They will top off the fuel tank. They did not call for any adjustments. Leader Kevin Harvick in pit stall number 1. He said he's a little bit free. They want to make an adjustment. It will be slight. 4 tires and fuel. This stop coming beyond lap 70, so they will be able to go the distance from here. And it looks like Harvick will be the first off pit road. Ray?
4 tires and an adjustment. It'll be wedge on the right rear for the 17. They had trouble for some reason getting into the pit stall for Timothy Peters, so lengthy stop down on this end.
There's a tire.
There's a tire on the 13 of Johnny Sauter.
Wow. How'd that happen?
You don't see that every day. I'll tell you that right now.
That may be the first time I've ever seen that happen.
Quite possibly the first time we've seen a tire on the hood.
You don't think it was
truck.
a tire monkey that threw a tire on there?
I sure hope Mario Goslin had nothing to do with it.
Here comes Mario. He said, I didn't have anything to do with that.
But they're gonna be able to figure out whose tire that was because it's gonna be plainly marked.
There it goes. Yeah. Got away from the 3 truck. It looks like.
Looks like Austin Dillon's truck, and it just lands on the hood just as nice as you please. And then Johnny Sauter will shake it loose coming down the backstretch.
Normally you try to throw a dime on a plate and you can't make it stick. How about a tire on the hood?
That takes talent right there.
That does take talent. Are you ready to discover NASCAR Nation's next great superstar? Introducing Fast Track to Fame. Join our own host Michael Waltrip and Chris Thompson as America's Most Unique performs. Cut loose each week and compete for their chance to become a star. It's the talent competition so wild that it could only happen trackside. Don't miss Fast Track to Fame Monday on Speed. How would they have rated that maneuver on pit road, Michael?
I think that's a 300. I mean,
everyone would have gave 100 for that. Green flag in the air. We're back underway. The Longhorn Chevrolet.
Oh, something happens to Kevin.
No, he's going to let his teammate grab the lead.
Hornaday out in front of him. Harvick starts up front. He lets Hornaday go by him for the lead. Adam.
And out front, the 33 of Ron Hornaday, he got track position by taking left side tires. Remember, he only took right side tires when he pitted back at lap 28. And under caution, Kevin Harvick said to his spotter, Billy O'Day, Billy, you know what's going to happen here, right? Almost like wink, wink. We're going to let Hornaday jump out in front. I guess everyone got the memo because the defending series champion now has the field in tow.
Yeah, guys, Hornaday has dug himself a huge hole early in the season with a couple of crashes, and he needs to get 5 points worse than ever. He needs to start trying to chip away at that deficit that he's facing, and looks like he's got his 2 tires. He got some track position thanks to his owner, Kevin Harvick, and he's driving away from these guys.
You know, Ron Hornaday, the only time he ever had less points after 2 races when he was running the full schedule was 2006. And I mean, that was actually 13 more points than he has right now. This is the least he's ever had. And oh, by the way, that was the worst points finish he's ever had, which was 7th when he ran all the races. So he really has a deep hole to dig out from under. Side by sides.
Caution's out.
We got a caution on the racetrack. A little contact there, the 2 and the 85.
Before that, Johnny Sauter drove around Kevin Harvick and grabbed that 2nd spot. We hadn't seen anybody be able to even keep up with Harvick, and here comes Johnny Sauter driving around him.
We'll see if Johnny Sauter was actually in front of Harvick at the loop before the caution came out. Hornaday out in front of the field at Martinsville. Welcome back to the Kroger 250 from Martinsville Speedway. Here in Martinsville, Virginia. Gorgeous day for short track racing. Camping World Truck Series. This is the 3rd event of the 2010 season. 17 of Timothy Peters back on the racetrack. Ray Dunlap, what's happening with the team?
Well, guys, I'm having trouble with my monitor down here. We can't see, so I'm sorry. I'm going to have to throw it back to you.
All right. It looks like they've got a tire problem. The right rear, they didn't quite get it on, it looks like.
Yeah, didn't have any of the lug nuts on that wheel, and then Jackman let the jack down and went around to the left side, so that's what caused him to have poor track position. Now Timothy's being shown in the 14th position. Truck that's capable of running up in the top 5 easily.
It's like the Jackman assumed that the right rear guy was done, and he certainly wasn't anywhere near done. Cost him a lot of track position. That truck hadn't performed like we talked to Timothy this morning about the race today. He's very confident in that 17 truck. Won here last year.
So Hornaday, after an impressive pit stop, was able to get to the outside of Harvick. Harvick led him by for the lead. Now he has the inside line. Harvick runs 2nd. Sauter, Crafton, and Almirola are your top 5. Coming out of turn 4, green flag back in the air.
Does Hornaday let him back by, Phil? I'd say yes.
Absolutely.
I believe he does.
Yes. Mission accomplished.
Got him his 5 points. Those other boys were getting on my nerves when I was back there. So you block them for a while.
And now race for the lead, race for the win is the situation that they're in.
Oh, look at there, 3 wide, tight quarters off turn 4.
Brian Eichler to the inside of Matt Crafton. That's a battle for the 4th position.
Eichler saw an opportunity around the lap truck of Chris Lafferty, but he had to squeeze it in there, Phil. He made it work, or he's making it work.
They're still side by side, all the way back through the field. See Ty Bodine moving up. Eichler gets that spot for Matt Crafton.
Side by side, Sauter and Hornaday. Sauter takes 2nd away from Hornaday.
Sauter had done this.
Trouble.
Got a spinner.
Brent Raymer in the 85s going the wrong direction, and the caution comes out once again.
And I bet you Johnny Sauter says, surely
I'm going to get that one.
I was 2nd that time. Because, you know, that could be the difference between Sauter leading this race just when that caution came out. Because had he been around Kevin Harvick when the caution flew, he would have been up beside Ron Hornaday racing for the lead. But he wasn't. He passed Hornaday just as the caution fell. We'll have to see if NASCAR thinks he's able to stay in that position.
Take a look at this now. This is when Brian Eichler is going to stick his nose in between Chris Lafferty and the 88. They make a little bit of contact. Wow, that's Martinsville short track racing right there.
There was no room left. What a great job by Brian Eichler to get in that hole.
Keep an eye on that. We'll see what happened to Brent Raymer. That was a situation going in turn 3. They were 3 wide. The same 89 truck of Chris Lafferty. Brent Raymer was in the middle, made a little contact, and around he went.
Chris needs to pick up the pace. He's caused a couple of crashes, and you remember when he was a part of the player in the 3-wide pass that Eichler pulled off. So
he still has a piece of the 85 truck in his right front corner.
That was riding along with Hermie Sadler. He had an interesting view of what just took place on the racetrack. And the 6 of DJ Kennington gets the Aaron's lucky dog, so he will get a lap back. Currently, we have 21 on the lead lap.
It's Camping World's Destination Recreation.
You know, whether you're looking to purchase a new or a pre-owned RV, Camping World has some great products from super companies like Keystone or Dutchman. But you know what? It's hard to decide just exactly what type of camper you'd like to get. I'd like to make one suggestion. How about starting with a 5th-wheel trailer? Now, what's really great is your vehicle, this truck, has 4 wheels, but we call the 5th wheel this attachment right here. And what it does is it allows you to take your camper wherever you'd like, put the legs down, and you're ready to stay there. But what's really great is the camper can stay there, and you can get in your truck and head down the road wherever it takes you.
The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. More prizes and more chances to win. To enter, see the complete prize descriptions and the official rules. Visit www.campingworld.com/racing. Welcome back. Green flag back in the air for the Kroger 250. It's Kevin Harvick on the inside. Johnny Sauter on the outside, racing down the backstretch.
He's proven to be the best two trucks all day. 3 wide for about 5th.
Eichler made it work once, but I don't know if it's going to work again, Phil.
How about Johnny in the middle?
Getting shoved out of the groove.
How about Ricky Carmichael in number 4 making a move up toward the front?
Here comes Top O'Nine, the Germain Toyota.
Man, it's just tight quarters.
How far back is Eichler going to fall on this restart? He restarted this race in 4th.
He still hasn't found him a hole yet.
All the way back to 8th.
Tried to squeeze in front of Taylor Mawson, his teammate. Taylor looks like he's not having any of it. Taylor had his nose in there, left it in there, and it's going to take that spot.
Wow. Here comes Timothy Peters trying to work his way back up towards the front.
Little contact once again. And on the inside, Taylor Mawson. On the outside, that 18 of Brian Eichler. They race down the front stretch.
What about Kyle Busch's first experience at this? Okay, guys, let's work this out.
Together, let's work it out.
That's just that takes so much talent to do what Taylor Mawson. You see him right on the edge of that curb and then right on the fender of his teammate too.
Now, if he hits that curb right now, it's going to knock him up into the 18 of Brian Eichler. May cause them both trouble.
Well, he makes the pass. Taylor Mawson now in front of Brian Eichler, right?
And Rick, I just wanted to add those 2 trucks, virtually identical pieces of equipment. You know, when Kyle Busch Motorsports got ready to get underway this year, they purchased the assets of Express Motorsports. And these chassis that are running together are number 133 and 134. They were built on the exact same jig, and they're pretty much set up identically this weekend too. And you can pretty much tell the way they're rolling around the racetrack. 2 very, very equal pieces of equipment.
Check out this battle for the lead, Phil. Johnny Sauter's been able to keep the heat on Kevin Harvick. You remember before one of our cautions a couple of runs ago, Sauter had got his way around Kevin Harvick. So this is a great battle for the lead.
Yeah, and at that time, that was a battle for second. That's after Kevin had already let Ron Hornaday get by on a restart to lead the race.
Johnny Sauter currently 7th in the points standings.
You know what I love? We just passed lap 100, man, and this race has had all kinds of interesting twists and turns, and the strategy's still hanging over us. Will these guys, have they made their last trip to pit road, or are we going to see more pit stops?
We think they have enough fuel because most of them pitted on lap number 75. I think it takes about, from what the crew chiefs tell me, about 40 laps of caution if you pit around lap 70 or 75. More than likely, we'll probably see that. We know they have enough fuel, but do they have enough tires? That's the question.
We've had just over 21 laps of caution up to this point. Ray.
Well, guys, every crew chief I've talked to on my end says absolutely we're coming back in for tires. Not going to be able to make the distance. They saw quite a bit of wear on these Goodyears that they took off on that first round of pit stops. So each and every person I've asked said yes, they'll be back down pit road one more time. Let's check in with the front of the field and Adam.
And Butch Hilton is the crew chief for Kevin Harvick, and he has told Harvick under caution, let's save fuel just in case there would be a scenario where we wouldn't pit again. But I got to tell you, Kevin, those rear tires were eaten up pretty bad. We do anticipate coming back down pit road, and I would guess that would be somewhere north of lap 150. We'll have to wait and see.
Certainly want to get it done before lap 200, wouldn't you, Phil? You wouldn't want to have more than, you need at least 50 laps to establish where you're going. And I talk about how interesting this race has been. Kevin Harvick has dominated it up front, but man, Ron Hornaday, he started in 31st, made his way to the top 10, went all the way to the back. Now he's sitting there running in 3rd spot. And that's the story of many of these trucks in the field. They've been all over the place. The only constant has been Johnny Sauter and Kevin Harvick at the front.
Kevin Harvick runs number 1. Then it's Johnny Sauter, Ron Hornaday, Matt Crafton, Mike Skinner. They're your top 5. Johnny Benson, Eric Almirola, Ricky Carmichael, Todd Bodine, and Taylor Malsom are your top 10. Just outside the top 10, David Starr, former winner at this racetrack.
What a good run early on for Ricky Carmichael. He had his best career finish at Atlanta a couple of weeks ago of 6th. And here he comes to a racetrack that's arguably, as we talked about with Narain Karthikeyan, the most difficult racetrack to run for somebody that's not used to doing this. And Ricky's got a good solid top 10 going.
Here comes the 30 of Todd Bodine. Again, Todd Bodine and Ron Hornaday, between the two of them, have 62 wins in the Camping World Truck Series. Neither has been to victory lane. Lance Fitton gets sideways, and the 76 comes right in and T-bones him. Brian Johnson Jr. in the 76 gets to the inside driver's side door of that 95. And so our 5th caution of the day has come out.
That's pretty significant contact right there.
That was it. I couldn't turn.
I think he's explaining that he locked his tires up and couldn't turn, maybe. I think I heard him say that, explaining to his crew why he ran into the side of Lance Fenton.
Remember, this is the same team that Dennis Setzer finished 3rd for at Daytona this year. Johnny Benson had a top 10 finish in that 95 truck at Daytona. Danny Gill starting his team this year. Tough break for him.
Taking a look at this. The 60 of Narain Karthikeyan comes in, gets into the back of that 95.
Oh, wow. You know, Brian more than likely had already committed to the corner. He'd already committed. He drove in the corner as hard as he was normally going to do it, and then all of a sudden the 95 truck is right there in front of him. You saw just a glimpse of him coming in the corner.
Wow.
Man, tough break.
He had the 60 on the outside of him. There was really, like you had mentioned, Michael, he's got the brakes locked up. There's nowhere he can go.
Well, it's just it's tough to learn what you're doing on these racetracks, trying to figure. If he had went up high, he would have gotten the marbles, and the thing certainly wouldn't have stopped. So I'm sure Brian will look at that and try to figure out what he could have done differently, but pretty hard contact to the side of Fenton's truck. We see Lance in there
moving around some.
Yeah, and the good sign, he's put the window net down. That's the signal to the emergency crew that, hey, I'm okay. I can operate, you know, at least my hands, arms, and everything. I can get the window net down.
There's your guy.
My guy. He's got him a lucky dog from Aaron's. Chris Eggleston's back on the lead lap. He's been, you know, he got off to a terrible start on his birthday, got spun out on the 1st lap, got a lap down, but now he finds himself running competitive times. Been watching him battling back for the 20th spot with Max Pappas and Brett Butler. They've been running right there in line, and now he's going to be able to see if he can get up through the field for some positions.
Let's take a look at this real time.
Look at Brett
See
Butler.
Lance get turned around, and here, wow, Brian comes in there and makes hard contact. Jennifer Joe Cobb does a nice job getting by on the inside. You see Lance Fenton out of the car, or truck, I'm sorry.
So those guys were in a tight battle, all of them globbed together there, and it's just probably didn't have as good a vision down in the corner as he hoped, and darn, there wasn't a truck sitting there when he got there.
So they'll clean up the accident that took place. That's our 5th caution of the race, this time including the 95 and the 76. When you want to take a spot, sometimes you got to move someone out of the way. Coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. We're offering more prizes and more chances to win this year. Log on to campingworld.com and enter today. Great crowd on hand, great weather for the fans to come out and enjoy short track racing for the Camping World Truck Series. The Kroger 250 will continue on Speed after these messages. And welcome back to Martinsville Speedway. Great views provided by DirecTV. Learn how to win $1 million. Go to directv.com/NASCAR.
Is that where you do the bracket racing? I'm looking forward to that. head-to-head? You pick your drivers and they go head-to-head to each other?
I believe so. The biggest racing fan you can be with Verizon Championship Racing at the track and on your phone. From nationwide and IndyCar driver meet and greets to exclusive peeks inside the Penske garage, right on your VCast phone. We're your hard card to racing nirvana, only from the network with the most 3G coverage, Verizon.
Getting ready for a restart here. Johnny Sauter's going to get another shot at Kevin Harvick. Not quite halfway yet. 5 laps to go till halfway.
Kevin Harvick, Johnny Sauter, Ron Hornaday, Matt Crafton, Mike Skinner, your top 5.
It's not halfway yet, and I'm tired. These guys have been all over the place today.
Ray Dunlap.
Just to let you guys know, we may have seen the last pit stop for Timothy Peters. He just came to the pits while we were under caution there. Remember, back at lap 74, they had trouble and got buried deep in the field. He has enough fuel to go the distance. He's going to try to nurse those tires. I don't expect a 17 back down pit road this afternoon.
I kind of like that, Phil. He had lost all his track position. Let's take a chance. Let's mix it up.
Green flag back in the air.
And then he hopes all those guys in front of him come back to pit road for the second time.
Great restart by Ron Hornaday, trying to stay on the bumper of that number 2 and not able to do so as they get through 1 and 2, and that gives Johnny Sauter a clean shot now at Kevin Harvick.
Man, Hornaday just doesn't seem to have the truck. He can't even make a good restart. You know, you would think down on the inside of Sauter, he'd be able to snatch that spot away from him, but he not only couldn't do that, he's having trouble holding off Matt Crafton on the outside. That's un-Ron Hornaday-like. He's usually on it for a lap or two and gains positions when they start.
This whole season has been un-Ron Hornaday-like. We talked about how this is the fewest points he's ever gotten, and a little contact there from JB and Matt Crafton. Fewest points that he's ever gotten in the first 2 races.
Eric Almirola, the 51. Now Johnny Benson a little squirrely. The 30 of Todd Bodine just behind him. Then it's David Starr on that 81 back there.
Looked like the 51 stopped a little bit early, and Johnny Benson got on the brakes hard. Had a little too much rear brake, looked like. Wheel hopped a little bit.
Don't you just love these guys sorting it out for a lap or 2, though? It's very tense. When you have a restart, you're on the outside. You're afraid you can give away 4 or 5 spots. We saw it happen to guys earlier. Taylor Mossum, I remember losing a lot of spots, and so it's nice when you finally get it strung out bumper to bumper so you can start to try to make some ground like David Starr's doing here on Todd Bodine.
David Starr trying to get by the 30 and take that 8th spot away from Todd Bodine. Adam?
You talk about Todd Bodine, Rick, and a moment ago, Ray mentioned Timothy Peters may be done pitting. Bodine may be in that same category. They came down pit road at lap 75. He has complained the truck is tight, but his crew chief, Mike Hillman Jr., said save fuel and take care of your tires. We may not pit again.
These guys are looking at what they have, Phil, for trucks, and they're like, we're not going to beat these guys if we do the same thing they do. That's why I love about Timothy Peters' strategy, and I understand where Hillman's coming from on that truck. We got to figure out a way to mix this deal up and get us some track position and see if we can keep it.
I think right now the problem for Todd, though, I don't think he has quite as good a truck as Timothy Peters. Timothy Peters has a truck capable of running in the top 5. If he can get track position, he may be able to keep some of these guys behind him. He might have a shot at his 2nd consecutive win here in Martinsville.
On this most recent restart, Timothy Peters restarted 18th, and he's made his way all the way up to the 11th spot.
And remember, he told his crew he was going to try to take care of those tires, baby them a little bit early in the going so they'll be around at the end. So if he's doing that and making ground, that's a great sign for that team.
He has the 3 of Austin Dillon right behind him. I saw Austin yesterday. I said, are you skipping school? Remember, he's a freshman at High Point University. He said, no, I don't have any classes on Friday. If you see me on Thursday, that means I'm skipping school.
A little bit of smoke out of the 4. That was him locking up the left front. That's Ricky Carmichael just in front of the 17. Here comes Austin Dillon trying to take the spot away from Timothy Peters.
Wow, great run for Austin Dillon. That's got to feel good for him, passing the guy that won the last time we were here, huh?
Yeah, what a great job Austin's done. He had a little trouble at Daytona early on, but had a great run in Atlanta. His best career finish here in the Truck Series.
You know, Austin Dillon and Kevin Harvick have the same motors in their trucks that they ran at Atlanta. And remember, Kevin Harvick won at Atlanta. He's using the same motor he won with.
You know, Phil, what flips me out about that, we talk about Atlanta being a track where you keep your motor wound up. A lot of RPM. Heck, they run wide open for 10 or 12 laps. You think you need a lot of high-end horsepower. Okay, we're going to come to Martinsville. We got to get out of these tight little turns. We need a bunch of bottom end. Harvick says, by the way, that's the same engine I ran last week.
How about that? You probably get down to 50 miles an hour in a corner here, maybe somewhere between 50 and 60 miles an hour. In Atlanta, you probably never get under 150 miles an hour.
And very rarely are you ever out of the gas, and you use as much brake here as you do gas at Atlanta.
Johnny Sauter going by the slower lap traffic. Norm Benning in that 57.
Motor guys everywhere are scratching their head thinking, what about all those years when we were putting small carburetors on and little headers and tailpipes, all the things we were doing to try to squeeze some power out of these things down low. Here Harvick is leading the race with his Atlanta motor.
And remember what we're talking about. One of the rules that NASCAR has, you see Austin Dillon bump into the back of Ricky Carmichael. We see Ryan Sieg slow on the racetrack. One of the reasons that NASCAR does that, we'll caution on the racetrack.
We got fluid in turn number 2, and so that's why NASCAR has thrown this the 6th caution of the day.
But that's one of the cost-saving measures is NASCAR said, okay, you can only run no more than 2 races with a fresh motor. You have to run a motor that you have run somewhere else. We'll put a seal on it so we know that, and that's the situation we're talking about with Kevin Harvick and Austin Dillon.
Okay, listen, if I'm going to pit for my second set of tires, am I going to do it now? I mean, you're getting to a point where you can't afford to wait much longer. I believe these crew chiefs that are going to look at a two-stop strategy have to look at pitting right now.
I think so too. I don't think you want to go any farther than this. I know they'd like to have about only 80 or 90 laps, but I think now they can't take a chance. It's going to be very interesting. Looks like Kevin Harvick is moving towards the left side,
and he's going to bring everyone with him, with the exception of
Mike Skinner's going to stay on the racetrack.
He's crossed the commitment line. He is coming to pit road, and we will go to pit road and Ray Dunlap.
Well, down on my end, Rick, it'll be 4 tires for this Fun Sand Chevrolet, and they'll also make a little bit of a track bar. Of course, they're sporting Sealmaster on this Thor Sport truck today. Johnny Sauter said rolling through the corners just perfect. I don't want any other adjustments. Adam?
And as Johnny Sauter wraps up his service, it will be Kevin Harvick Incorporated teammates Ron Hornaday and Kevin Harvick who will come to pit road. Kevin Harvick said, I would like to come, but Chilton said, man, there's a lot of race left. Harvick said, if I come, I'm going to bring them all with me. And that's pretty much what happened. 4 tires for Harvick. He wants to go back on some of the adjustments they made when they came down at lap 75. A few pit stalls behind him. Hornaday getting 4 tires as well, Ray.
Back at my end, disaster for the 13 and Johnny Sauter. They had the left rear tire came off. They dropped the jack before the crew member got around here to put the lug nuts on. Johnny started to lead, and the tire was not connected. Big damage on the left rear left rear corner. Sauter will roll away. He's lost all his track position, and the left rear corner is beat up.
And that's going to be what's going to hurt Johnny Sauter's track position. The damage on the left rear corner is going to be minor. We know he had one of the best 2 trucks here. I don't know that we'll ever get a chance for him to show it again.
I don't think so. He's lost all his track position, and we know how hard it is to pass. Let's check it out. What happens here on this pit stop?
Undoubtedly, they had trouble on the left rear, did not get the lug nuts on it. The jackman thought that he had gotten all the lug nuts on the left rear.
The jackman could see clearly the left front was on, and I don't think he got a good enough peek into what was going on in that left rear, and it cost him mightily.
Sign to the driver when to go. The crew chief will tell you, and they'll drop the jack, and that's what Johnny Sauter felt. Got into the gas. The left rear wasn't on yet, and so there you see the damage to the left side. But as you mentioned, the damage was done when he lost the positions. He went from 2nd to 22nd. It's very difficult to pass at Martinsville. It's very tight and hard to get around drivers at the paperclip. We'll be back. Green flag back in the air. The Kroger 250 underway.
6 trucks stayed on the racetrack. Kevin Harvick, the 2 truck, won the battle off pit road. He restarted 7th.
Wow. I told you it was all mixed up. You got Max Pappas up in the 3rd spot. Peters with his strategy gained that track position. Skinner with the lead.
Mike Skinner out in front of this field, Adam.
And the reason, because they did not pit under caution. I went down, talked to their crew, and said, was that part of your plan? Do you intend to come down pit road, or are you done? They said, yep, we were not in our window. Another 30 or 40 laps, we'll come down and get our final set of tires.
Check out.
Great side-by-side racing back here, guys.
Check out Brett Butler. He's getting a dose of what it's like to run up front with the leaders, holding down that 5th spot. Kevin Harvick dives the inside of that Fuel Doctor truck. But that's great experience for a young man like Brett, being able to run up there in the front, see what these guys are all about.
By the way, Ty Bodine had to give up his 10th position. He was found too fast exiting pit road. He had to go all the way back to the tail of the field, gave away all his track position.
Skinner holding off Timothy Peters. He's got him by about 0.2 of a second, but that gap's getting closed now up front.
Max Pappas
up there in the 3rd spot.
Max diving in the 3rd turn, keeping up with these guys.
And Kenny Schrader running in the 4th spot. Kevin Harvick is now 5th.
Johnny Benson, the 15, getting by the 47 of Brett Butler. Good battle for the lead. Timothy Peters looks to the inside of Skinner. He's there.
See if Skinner gives him the room. He will. Here comes Timothy Peters for the lead. Coming out of turn number 4. It's a drag race into turn 1. Problems with Ricky Carmichael.
And he gets hit.
He gets into the side of the 23. Todd Bodine locks it up. And the caution comes out again.
Wow, that big crash for Jason White.
See, the right front tire's not even moving on that truck.
You got to figure the left rear of Carmichael's truck's going to be a mess too. The whole left side looks like took a hit. He was racing really hard with Austin Dillon. I don't know if those two got together.
Tough damage on that 23 gunbroker.com Dodge.
There you see the left side tires. The left front of Ricky Carmichael is down.
What a good run Ricky Carmichael had going here at Martinsville.
I watched these two trucks, Phil, starting getting down into turn 1. Let's check this out. They start getting together a little bit. You can see Austin in the back of Ricky. Austin in the back of Ricky.
Now he's going to pull to the inside.
But he's not there. He doesn't need to try to swipe that spot, but that's exactly what he does.
Well, then he hits the curb. We talk about that when you hit the curb. It's going to bounce you out into the truck on the outside. Chris DeVota told us in the setup, if you hit that curb, trouble's going to ensue, and it certainly did for Ricky Carmichael.
You know, there's a point in time if you're Ricky where you got to give the guy more than enough room, because if he squeezes him down, you know he's going to hit the curb. You know where he's going to go. He's going to go right into the side of you, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, Ricky, you know, May could have given just a little bit more room, and then Taylor Molson comes along, makes contact with the 3 of Austin Dillon.
And poor Jason White, just the wrong place, man. He was down on the bottom of the track, and that's where Ricky was coming. There was nothing Jason can do. Let's go inside of his truck and watch.
He's going to see this development in front of him.
Keep up what you're doing. You're pulling away from him. All right, back her down, back her down, back her down. Go high.
That just happens so fast.
Watch the left front of this 3 truck. He's going to hit that curb. When he does, his truck's going to go to the outside. There's the contact with the curb. You see that stops the tire, and then he slides out into the 4 of Ricky Carmichael.
That was an aggressive lap there for Austin Dillon. He got into Ricky and knocked him a little bit sideways and really didn't drive his truck up beside Ricky, but dove in the corner and tried to take the spot away, hit the curb and hit Ricky. Certainly nothing Carmichael could have done other than just slide up more, but shoot, you never know what a guy's going to do.
So Jason White behind the wall with his number 23 Dodge. Now we've got Ricky Carmichael on pit road trying to do some work to that race truck to get it ready to go back out on the racetrack.
Man, if that suspension on the left front isn't bent there, Phil, he's going to be pretty lucky, huh?
Yeah, going to be real lucky.
Want to keep up with all the results and stats from the track? Check out the new NASCAR stats package. Get the latest practice and qualifying reports, race results, and driver standings. Go to the NASCAR section of speedtv.com.
You know, you could log on right now to speedtv.com and check out the Truck Buddy.
Now, there's a lot of people that are fired up about this Truck Buddy deal. You can be your own director.
But you can sit with your laptop right in your lap and watch our broadcast, and then you can switch some camera angles. You can watch Hermie Sadler here. You can watch his onboard.
You could have rode along with the 23 of Jason White when that happened.
Maybe not so much that last lap. You didn't want to ride around with him.
How about this? A wedding? Just married?
Who doesn't love love?
That's sweet. That's sweet of you to say that.
Thank you.
Joe and Megan.
Ask Hermie who those people are, Phil. Can you get him?
You want him to run down there and talk to him?
Well, I got a radio here somewhere. I know. I watched my brother use it before. I'm gonna dial him up here.
Autism awareness, one of the big.
There you go. Try that, Phil.
Let me see if we can get a hold of Hermie.
The Sadlers deal with.
Hermie Sadler, Phil Parsons in the speed booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Phil. What's up?
Well, we're just watching your truck. You got a congratulations to a married couple on the back. You got autism on board, the puzzle pieces, and you've got a couple Aaron's Lucky Dogs. How's your day going?
We finally got one. Yeah, we started off way too tight, and Dave and the boys have loosened me up the last couple stops, and now I feel like we got something we can race with. So I'd like to get this Hermie and Elliott Sadler Foundation Chevrolet and get up there in the top 10 and have a little fun.
All right, you got one to go. Now wave at us on our onboard camera, and good luck, bud.
You got it, guys.
There he is. He's waving.
He's waving to you at home. And a thumbs up.
Phil, you're kind of like the race buddy there. You were doing a little directing. Told Hermie what to do and put it right on TV.
Yeah, there we go.
Pace car is off the racetrack. That puts the field back in the hands of the 5 and the 17. Mike Skinner on the inside. Timothy Peters on the outside. Green flag back in the air. Between the two of them, they have 4 wins here at Martinsville.
Mike Skinner knows how to get it done in Martinsville.
Boy, Timothy drove it down in that corner, though.
Got a good run off, too. Got a real strong run off the turn and grabs the lead on the outside. Great move by Peters.
Got Harvick. Oh,
little contact back behind him. It's Narain Karthikeyan that is up against the wall in the 60. He got into the back of the 47. It looked like a Brett Butler. And so the caution comes out once again.
Brett Butler got a good bit of damage in his Fuel Doctor Chevrolet.
The rain got tied up on the inside wall in the back straightaway. We'll see what Brett can do. Those it's like sort of a chain reaction event. See if we can figure out what happened.
This is right as we're getting ready to restart. See the 47 on the inside left right of your screen.
Oh, he gets loose down in the corner a little bit, and there goes Austin Dillon up on the curb.
And they just seize everybody up.
Oh, and it cut Brett's left rear tire. You can see the left rear flat. And then finally, folks just didn't have anywhere to go. Brett did what he needed to do to get to pit road.
Looked like Todd Bodine may have made some contact with the back.
He definitely did. He made a commitment to the inside, and then all of a sudden Brett was there. There's a contact with the 3 of Austin Dillon, the 47, and the 56 of Taylor Malsom.
Austin must have decided it's time to go. Took him 3 wide down across the curb, and
so watch Todd. He was committing to the inside, going to go to the inside of the 47 of Brett Butler, and Narain was already there. Narain probably says, I haven't had this much contact in my entire career.
Difficult day for a first start for Narain Karthikeyan. The Kroger 250 continues on speed after these messages. Welcome back. Timothy Peters looking for his second win at Martinsville. He leads the pack to the green flag.
Gets a good start, too.
Going to allow Harvick maybe to get on the inside of Skinner. Can take over that second spot.
Again, when we restarted after Harvick brought the lead lap trucks onto pit road, Harvick was back there in 6th. He's been able to battle his way back up to the 3rd spot now and challenging for 2nd.
Yeah, not able to get by Skinner on that restart.
Oh, problems back behind him. Hermie Sadler is involved in it, as well as the 46 of Clay Greenfield.
No caution.
We stay green.
Man, they're all over each other off, too. Look at this pack. Hornaday right up in the middle of it with Johnny Sauter, Kraft, and their Schrader.
Taylor Malsom, the 56. There's Max right there. There's David Starr, Max Pappas in the 9, Geico Toyota.
Johnny Sauter's probably thinking, I wouldn't even be in this mess if it wasn't for the problems we had on pit road.
And all these trucks right here racing for position on the lead lap.
It's Ken Schrader in the federated number 52. Ooh. Oh, Johnny Sauter into the side of that 9 of Max Pappas. Sauter charging hard now toward the front.
I think Johnny probably at this point, after giving up all that track position, says, I'm going to try to bring back the steering wheel when this race is over. And no guarantee on any fenders.
And I've got kind of a bad attitude about it all, which is probably a good thing this late in the going at Martinsville, you know?
Brian Eichler on the back bumper of that 33 of Hornaday. Austin Dillon tries to get by the 9 sideways. The 18 of Brian Eichler into the 9.
Comes a man, Chris Eggleston. What a great job he's done today. He's up in the 14th spot, going for 13th.
I think we have a problem with Eichler's truck right there.
Yeah, I do too.
It's like he has slowed now as Pappas all over the back bumper.
Might have got some debris on his tires from all the pushing and shenanigans where he had been.
Trying to get back up to pace now as we see Pappas with a little distance between him and the bumper. Timothy Peters
Harvick now has a second spot. Yeah, that's obviously been the best truck today, that 2 truck. We'll see if you know, he has 89 laps to go there, so he can certainly take his time getting by Timothy Peters if he wants to.
And he might be. He might just be pacing himself right now. He knows he needs to have some truck left for the end of this race.
Timothy Peters will have to be mistake-free for 88 laps if he wants to hold off Kevin Harvick.
I'm pretty impressed with Johnny Sauter. He's already made his way back up into the top 10. He restarted 22nd after his problems on pit road, already running 9th right now. We know Timothy Peters knows how to get it to victory lane.
Yeah.
He did it the last time we were here.
You know, Rick said that Timothy Peters is going to have to be perfect if he wants to lead these last 90 laps or so. And Phil, he knows how to drive a perfect race here. That's how you get to victory lane. But man, you just can't ask a guy to hold off a truck like Kevin Harvick has lap after lap after lap. You're going to eventually probably going to have to give him a little hole to peek his nose inside of. And when you're faster and you get your nose in there, you just leave it and the contact ensues.
Here we've got some teammates running nose to tail. The 88 of Matt Crafton just in front of that 13 of Johnny Sauter. What's going on with the 13 team, Ray?
Well, I just wanted to let you guys know you were exactly spot on. Johnny really gave it to the crew pretty hard back there. You know, he continually preaches to him, give me a good, smooth, steady stop, and we'll get right back up there and go for the win. But Joe Shear, his crew chief, got back on there and says, I promise you, your truck is good enough to get back up there and race with them. So take your time, work your way back up, and remember, it's a long season, and we got to chase points. You don't get to win every single race.
Here comes Hornaday trying to get on the inside of Sauter. Sauter blocks him. Hornaday just going to have to decide how much blocking he's going to take.
Well, it looks like Sauter's having to wait for Matt Crafton right now.
And I was going to say, I've been impressed with Johnny Sauter right through this part of the race, Phil. He has been waiting on Matt Crafton. He's had a faster truck than Matt. He could have taken him 3 wide one time down the front straightaway, chose not to do that, and he's been very patiently riding behind Crafton with a faster truck. So that's why I think Johnny decided he'd block Hornaday off. He knows he's got a good enough truck to go grab that spot. He doesn't want to give away a position while protecting while being respectful, I'll say, to his teammate.
Well, side-by-side race here. The 15 of Johnny Benson on the inside of the 5 of Mike Skinner.
That's a battle for 4th. Eric Almirola, the 51 truck, has already gotten by Skinner to take over the 3rd spot. Here comes David Starr. Looks to the inside of Mike Skinner. Teammates.
David Starr running impressively now in that Zachary number 81 Toyota Tundra.
Skinner still has a set of tires, Phil. He didn't pit that last time, so this strategy of getting him some track position, it's worked okay, but will he come in later and get more tires?
Yeah, would it be too late?
Yeah, probably will be too late. He will give up all his track position. Remember, he did not pit as late as Timothy Peters did. He pitted a lot earlier than Timothy Peters.
And we've also seen Johnny Sauter, while he's racing very respectfully with his teammate, he's gained all the way up inside the top 10, so you can make moves if you got a good truck with fresh tires.
Todd Bodine, not the truck that he was hoping he would get out to be able to look at the end of the race.
Finally, there goes Johnny Sauter. He got around.
Oh, and there he saw Ron Hornaday. Looks like he made a little contact with the 88 just to let him know, hey, by the way, I'm going by you.
No, he wanted to make sure once that hole was open by Johnny Sauter that he was going to get in that hole and get by the 88 as well.
Ron said, I might have misjudged that just a little. I mean, that wasn't much of a miss.
Battle for the lead on the left side of your screen. That's Timothy Peters just in front of the 2 of Kevin Harvick. NASCAR has given a warning to the 30 of Todd Bodine. You've got to pick up your speed. There is a minimum speed here at Martinsville. If you don't make that minimum speed, they'll black flag you and take you off the racetrack.
Yeah, and his truck's tore all to pieces. Looks like he might come to pit road now, Rick.
Looks like he's gonna stay on the racetrack, but it won't be much longer. I don't think that speed right there will reach the minimum speed that NASCAR requires. It's a certain percentage of the pole speed. You hear Todd saying he's going to pull it in.
And smoke coming off the right side of that truck.
So Todd will go another short track race without getting a win.
And remember, that was our point leader coming into this race.
Todd Bodine had a 4-point lead over Timothy Peters coming into this, the 3rd race of the 2010 season. Now the battle up front is between Timothy Peters and Kevin Harvick for the lead. Welcome back. The 81 of David Starr came to stop just past the commitment line to pit road. His pit stall is actually the first stall, or pit stall 43 here at Martinsville. It looks like the engine now has fired once again, and NASCAR is going to hold them.
Mike Skinner, one of the first trucks to come to pit road, Phil. We talked about him needing a caution to get some tires. He got that caution, and he's getting those tires.
Oh, by the way, David Starr's his teammate.
Coincidence?
Well, quite possibly. Adam.
We go 4 tires and air pressure for Mike Skinner, and this is exactly what they wanted. An opportunity to come to pit road late in the race, get those 4 fresh tires, and Austin Dillon on his first ever trip to Martinsville on pit road again, right of your screen. This is probably the 6th time the 3 truck has been in today. It's not been an easy debut, but he has stayed on the lead lap, and we'll see what kind of finish this Rookie of the Year contender can get here this afternoon.
Austin's had a good truck. He's been racing around the top 10.
He's been fast. We've seen him get aggressive here lately, taking a couple of trucks 3 wide. Now he's got some fresh tires. You can get even more aggressive, Rick, when you got fresh tires. Hey.
Aaron's lucky dog goes to Brett Butler.
It's
awful nice of him to give Brett the lucky dog.
Well, he was the first truck a lap down, so. But he's back on the lead lap. Had a great run today, Brett has in that Fuel Doctor truck. You know, he stayed on the lead lap, got some track position early, got in a bit of a squeeze there with Austin Dillon, but yet remains on the lead lap.
Let's see if we can make some contact with our leader, Timothy Peters. Hey, Timothy, Phil Parsons in the speed booth. You have a copy? It's going to be one to go at the line. We're not going to try Timothy again. We don't want to interrupt him. He knows he's going to have Kevin Harvick on the outside, the dominant truck in this race.
He's got his hands full.
Man, if I'm Timothy, Phil, I might have just zoned you right out right there.
I think he might have actually did, I think.
And I think the reason being is he knows he's still got about 70 laps that he has to be perfect. He's got to drive a perfect race. And right now, the guy that's faster than him has driven up on the outside of him. We got these double file restarts, and Kevin Harvick is going to pull right up beside him for this green flag.
Yeah, the guy on the outside. Slouch. Yeah, by the way, he's leading the points in the Sprint Cup Series after 5 events.
Randy Kaiser pulls the pace car off of the racetrack, and now the field back in the hands of the 17 of Timothy Peters. On the outside, it's Kevin Harvick. Again, Harvick won this race a year ago. Timothy Peters won the fall race last year. So who will get out front when the green flag flies? We're back underway at Martinsville.
Harvick strong on that outside.
Timothy looks like he has the advantage. Let's see if he can clear him by the time he gets off too. Not yet.
Kevin Harvick still holding steady on the outside. Looks like he's going to try for the spot. Here comes Eric Almirola. He's going to try to take that position away from Kevin Harvick.
What about those 2 Billy Ballou trucks? Almirola and Benson 3rd and 4th. Every week those 2 trucks are right up in the top 5, and no exception today.
And with different drivers, we had Stephen Wallace at Atlanta gets a top 5 finish in his first ever career start in the Camping World Truck Series, and now JB jumps in this truck. That's a strong run going. And by the way, that's Johnny Sauter right behind JB in 5th.
Running in the 5th spot. We saw Johnny Sauter have problems on pit road. You see the remnants of that on the left rear quarter panel of that number 13 as it sticks out. The left rear tire was not on when Johnny Sauter dropped the jack, or when they dropped the jack and Johnny Sauter was about to leave. But he's been able to overcome that. Now he's all over the back bumper of the 15 of Johnny Benson.
And the thing right now, you see Johnny pull over to block him a little bit. As you talked earlier, Johnny's got a bit of an attitude right now, and deservedly so. He knew that he had a great truck. He's going to work to the inside of JB. I think JB's going to have to give him some room here.
Johnny Benson knows that Johnny Sauter's got a faster truck, and Sauter just did a really good job of not rattling Johnny Benson's cage too much. You know, he did get on the inside, got into him a little bit, but it was pretty clean racing for Martinsville standards, and Sauter was able to get on the inside of Johnny. He's completed the pass, and here comes Ron Hornaday trying to see if he can fill that hole.
Ron's not able to do it this time. Johnny's able to take over that 4th spot and now take off after Eric Almirola in the 3rd spot.
That was about a classic pass at Martinsville by Johnny Sauter. You know, you have to bump a guy a little bit, but he didn't do it too much. He was able to open the door and finish the deal. Now he's going to go see if he can do the same thing to Almirola.
I think it takes a lot more talent to pass somebody like that than just to go up there and knock him out of the way.
Oh, it definitely does, and you have to. Here comes Harvick.
Here comes Harvick doing it the right way. As you mentioned, you don't have to knock him out of the way. Harvick got the nose on the inside. Timothy Peters moves to the outside. It's a drag race down the backstretch into turn 3.
Timothy's trying to hang tough on the outside. He's going to succumb to Harvick right now and move over and try to get that 2nd spot and stay ahead of the rest of those guys.
So now Timothy Peters follows Kevin Harvick into 1 and 2. Harvick back out front. He will be adding to his laps led 127 laps already in this race. Trying to add on to that, we see some more side-by-side racing. Ricky Carmichael back on the racetrack after the hard hit that he had earlier. Austin Dillon in the 3 moving by him, as well as the 12 of Mario Gosselin.
That's a battle for the 12th position. Austin Dillon just took over the 12th spot. Now Mario and Ricky battling for the 13th position.
What another great run for Mario Gosselin in that Tire Monkey truck. He's just been able to keep it right up there around the top 10, making his way around Carmichael.
just in front of these guys. An impressive performance by the 9 of Max Pappas. Max Pappas trying to break into that top 10. He's got Austin Dillon now working his back bumper.
Max jumps off the curb a little bit. It's going to allow Austin to get to the inside. He has position.
Good. Austin Dillon makes the pass. He takes that position away. Here comes Mario Gosselin now.
You know, there's no rest for the weary. Max Pappas dealt with with Austin Dillon. He said, finally, that guy's gone. I'll be darned. There's somebody beating on my back door again.
That was that monkey.
0.4 of a second separating Kevin Harvick and the 17 of Timothy Peters. The final 57 laps of racing from Martinsville when we come back. Kevin Harvick now out front. Johnny Sauter on a mission, trying to gain positions back after problems on pit road. Bumping and banging everywhere here at the half mile. Today's aerial coverage brought to you by the DirecTV blimp for this Kroger 250. Call 1-800-DirecTV to switch.
Got some great stuff on DirecTV. See some debris on the racetrack.
Little debris on the racetrack.
Got 50 laps to go, guys, and this is, if I'm Kevin Harvick, I'm feeling pretty good that I got the 17 beat, but now I'm starting to wonder, do I have the 13 beat?
And remember, the 13 is going to line up right behind the 2 of Kevin Harvick. There's Narain Karthikeyan. Remember, he was my spotlight driver. He was running along in the 16th position on the lead lap. Going to be a little contact right here. He leaves the bottom of the racetrack open and then comes down a little bit. A little contact from the 46 of Clay Greenfield. Was not able to get his truck refired to stay on the lead lap, unfortunately. But again, he's going to stay out there. Here's another look right here. You see Narain come down a little bit.
I don't think Greenfield really knew what Narain was doing. You know, he went in, like you said, a little bit high, a little bit in the middle of the track.
Like he was going to give him the inside line.
Aaron's lucky dog.
Guy that calls a caution.
Goes to the 46 of Clay Greenfield.
But he's
in some ways that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, but he was 2 laps down. Now he's only 1. But you know, Aaron's
they don't care if you 1 or 2 laps down. They'll give it to you.
They don't judge.
Officially, the caution was caused by the 60 of Narain. So
what?
That's the issue there.
Well, officially, the 46 spun out the 60.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's
the 46 kept going and the 60 didn't. Let's go back down to Adam.
Not a lot of conversation on the radio for Kevin Harvick and his team, but when the caution came out there, he reminded his crew chief, Butch Hilton, as to why he passed Timothy Peters when he did. He said, Butch, I was just a little bit too tight behind him. I knew he was loose, so I felt like it was time to make the move. I couldn't wait any longer. To which Butch Hilton replied, and you see Butch on screen now, hey, you're the professional. I'm just walking you through this race. I think Butch, in his first race for Kevin Harvick as crew chief, has figured out what his job is, Ray.
And Adam, before the race, I talked with Kevin a little bit about tomorrow. He said he has a very good race car for the Sprint Cup Series, and because qualifying was rained out, he'll start on the pole. His best career finish in Cup at this track, a 7th place. He's done that 3 different times. But Kevin Harvick has won here in trucks and in Nationwide. So a little trivia for you guys in the booth. Can you name the one driver who has won in all 3 of NASCAR's top divisions here? Nationwide, trucks, and Cup.
I got it. I think I got it. Bobby Labonte? Is that right, Ray?
That is absolutely right, Phil.
Thank you. I was here when he won in the truck and probably when he won his other 2 races here as well.
You've been to a lot of races.
I have been to a lot of races.
I would not put it past you.
I was
my whole life.
I was going to guess Bobby Hamilton, so
yeah.
I would have had half of it right. It was Bobby.
Yeah.
Kevin Harvick, Timothy Peters, Johnny Sauter. How aggressive will Johnny Sauter be now as we have just 47 laps to go?
Remember, he's going to line up right behind Kevin Harvick. He's going to try to get in front of that 17 truck so he can chase after the 2 truck.
He definitely has the 2nd best truck. If he's able to get around the 17 and pursue Harvick, we'll find out exactly how good that 2 truck is, because Kevin has been able to drive away from everybody so far.
And remember what a great move that was by Kevin Harvick to go ahead and take the lead, because right now, had he not been leading, he would have been on the outside. Johnny Sauter would have been on the inside behind the leader, Timothy Peters, and Kevin may have been in danger of losing that 2nd spot if he would have to restart 2nd. So a great heads-up move by Kevin Harvick to pass the 17 of Timothy Peters when he did.
And let's not rule out Mike Skinner. I know he's back in the 7th spot. He was up beside Eichler for 6th when the caution flew. He's got fresher tires. we're getting down here where we still got 46 laps to go, so those tires could become a factor, and Skinner can make some ground on these guys. I bet you Gene needs eat a whole bottle of Tums over there trying to figure out that strategy. Nobody knew whether to get pit once, pit twice, what to do. Gene did a different strategy for Skinner. They've got some pressure tires, and he's up near the top 5, so look for that truck to charge on these guys.
Yeah, right now, Mike Skinner has the freshest tires of anybody in the top 10.
They've said they will not go this time by, so the yellow comes back out. They'll try it again. It's Kevin Harvick, Timothy Peters, Johnny Sauter, Eric Almirola, and Ron Hornaday. They're your top 5. Then it's Brian Eichler, Mike Skinner, Matt Crafton, Johnny Vinson, and Taylor Malsom. They're your top 10. Just outside the top 10, Austin Dillon and Max Pappas back there in the 12th position. Ray Dunlap.
They've been on the radio with Johnny Sauter talking to him about his truck. He said he's real happy with the balance, real good. They said, are you good enough to go get Harvick? He said, yeah, I'm good enough for Harvick. I'm not worried about him. He said, I think the best race truck on the track is the guy beside me, Eric Almirola. He said, I'm worried about beating the 51, not these two guys in front of me. Adam?
Ray, I want to follow up on something Michael said a moment ago in regard to Mike Skinner's strategy. It's very easy at a short track to have a strategy at 8 o'clock in the morning that once the green flag goes in the air, you don't have the guts to execute. I admire the way they have stuck with the plan. Michael pointed out he's restarting 8th here, right where they need to be to make a move to the front. And if we get enough green flag laps, this strategy may very well pay off for the 5, the only driver in the field to have won at this track on 3 different occasions.
I'm telling you guys, I'm not sure if I agree with Johnny Sauter. I think he pretty much has to worry about that too. If Kevin Harvick, what do you think?
Well, he's as close to him as he's been right now. He's right on his bumper late in the going. Hermie Sadler there, and Jason White. Both these trucks have had up and down days. Jason's currently riding along in 30th after being involved in that crash off turn 4. Hornaday's day has been certainly interesting, starting back in the 31st spot, and he's been able to gain that track position, and he never gave it away, Phil. They went off strategy from some of these guys, got him some track position, he's been able to keep it.
Coming out of turn number 4. Let's try it one more time. The restart here at Martinsville. Kevin Harvick on the inside, Timothy Peters on the outside.
Keep an eye on Johnny Sauter. If he's able to get by Timothy Peters, he drives it hard in the corner.
Hornaday wanted a little extra room. He got out into the left side of Eric Almirola, but takes that spot away. Now they are bumping and banging down the backstretch. Johnny Sauter and the 17 of Timothy Peters. This is for second.
Ron Hornaday's all over him. Look for him to peek to the inside if he gets a chance. Thought about it right there on the front straightaway.
Timothy Peters trying to keep the momentum up. He doesn't have the preferred line. Here comes Johnny Sauter. Sauter, a little contact again as they go down the backstretch.
Man, that may give Timothy enough room to get to the bottom.
This is so hard.
He gets the position. Timothy Peters takes second back.
Oh, here comes Sauter to the inside.
Sauter again, though.
Look at Mike Skinner. He's closed up on Hornaday. Skinner up to the 6th spot. Oh, look at
Timothy
Johnny.
got sideways, and then Johnny got sideways.
Skinner has worked his way up actually to the 5th position. This is a battle for second just in front of Ron Hornaday.
I had a feeling that was going to be a situation where Johnny Sauter was going to push Timothy through that corner, push him up out of the groove to get underneath him. He knows the laps are running out. We're down to 40 to go.
While all this is happening, Kevin Harvick is smiling inside that helmet because while they're battling for second, he is pulling away.
I bet he's not smiling yet. I bet he's just thinking, okay, y'all do that for a while. This feels pretty good. Finally, Sauter gets the position. Here comes Hornaday on the inside of Timothy Peters.
Charging hard, too, was Ron Hornaday. And now here comes Skinner in the number 5, trying to take away the 4th spot from Timothy Peters.
Great strategy now. We can say that, Phil. Gene Needham played some different strategy, and we can say it's working. That's the best this truck's been all day long. The 5 of Mike Skinner. He's up to the 4th spot. He's going to challenge Hornaday for that 3rd spot.
Look how far off in the distance that 2 truck of Kevin Harvick is.
And how strong that 13 and 33
Ooh, contact.
Are. Hornaday into the back. Now Skinner into the back of Hornaday. Skinner tries to take 3rd away.
There'll be some more contact right there.
Well, that's
Skinner and Hornaday battling for 3rd.
You can see Hornaday try to get over to the left to make it more difficult for Skinner to get off the 4th turn, but he couldn't quite turn down there. When he did, he got loose, had to correct it to the right. That opened the door for Skinner.
Johnny Sauter holding on to second. Now Hornaday just a nose in front of that 5 of Skinner, but he's got to stay in the outside line. Skinner has the preferred line.
More
contact
look at his hands.
again.
Look at Hornaday's hands.
And what Hornaday did there was try to take that lane away from Skinner. Cut down once he started to exit the corner so that Skinner had to pinch his truck to the bottom. And it worked. Hornaday held the position.
Remember this season, Hornaday had finishes of 27th and 34th.
Not the way he wanted to start his defense of his title.
Away, one back.
Woo, this is good stuff. These guys are all over one another.
Kevin Harvick has a 4.2 second lead over Johnny Sauter. Can Sauter catch up? How about Hornaday running strong, and Skinner and Peters will be back for the remainder of this race after these messages. Welcome back to Martinsville. The 11th caution has come out. It was Hornaday just behind the 13 of Johnny Sauter. Hornaday thought it was time to go. He got into the back of Sauter. Around he went. Mike Skinner gets caught up in this one as well. The 17 of Timothy Peter was able to get by and looks as though he will move up into the 3rd spot, but we'll wait to see what NASCAR says about the move Hornaday made.
Yeah, a lot of damage on that 5 truck of Mike Skinner. He was an innocent victim here when Johnny Sauter got turned around by Ron Hornaday.
I don't think NASCAR is going to say anything about this. Hornaday just got lightly into the back of Sauter, but it was hard enough to spin him out. It didn't look any different than some of the other bumps and slams we've seen today. Ray, what do you see?
Well, just want to let you know the 13 is putting tires on. Johnny Sauter said, I think it's okay. And Joe Shear said, no, the left front is dragging down on the ground. So they'll definitely put left sides on, pull the fender away. What's up with the 5?
And in regard to Ron Hornaday, he talked about hitting Johnny Sauter, and he said it's pretty hard not to hit a guy when I've got Skinner about to run over top of me from behind. He said he's just running right through me. So Hornaday felt all of this a result of how Mike Skinner was driving, and I guess there's no one guilty in this situation.
I love it. Just blame it on the guy behind you.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what happened.
I don't really think that was my fault. It was the guy behind me.
Yeah.
This is 3 and 4.
Because he was clearly running me over.
They're gonna.
Well,
there's
hard
the
to see it from
contact
there,
right there. Hornaday was able to get in the throttle a little bit before Johnny Sauter, and then after that happened, then the 5 ran in the back of Hornaday. But that's a little bit of a stretch to blame that one on Mike Skinner, I think.
I agree. But you know, you see it differently from inside a cockpit.
We don't know what happened the corner previous to that. Now,
right.
Skinner may have gotten the back around Hornaday the corner previous to that, but that's obvious contact right there from the 33 to the 13.
And what a tough break for Mike Skinner, Gene Need, and those boys on the 5 truck. They had put themselves in such a great position. But, you know, Sauter, one of the fastest trucks all day, when he got to second, he couldn't go anywhere. Hornaday had caught him, run him down. And you can see why he's faster. Watch. That's why he ran into him.
You can see Ron sounded like he was pretty much off the throttle. He just coasted into him there, it looked like.
It's the front of the 13 truck. That shouldn't hurt him too badly from here to the finish, Phil. I mean, obviously he's falling back outside the top 15, so.
And now it's just a matter of trying to survive, get a few positions if you can. See a lot of damage to that left front corner of that Sealmaster Chevrolet.
I believe I had to tape that together while I was on pit road. Brought those 2 pieces of the front splitter together, maybe with some bare bond.
Yeah, I think I may even decide to do that now. I don't think he's going to lose a great deal of
because
we
still got 25 laps.
He's the last truck right now on the lead lap.
We saw him run through the field once when he had a bad pit stop, got all the way up to second.
And he has several trucks in front of him that I think he could pass fairly easily.
Let's get him to pit.
I think we should pit.
Johnny Sauter was running second.
Should I call him?
Hornaday was running third. Hornaday now moves up to second behind Kevin Harvick. Timothy Peters moves up to third. The 18 of Brian Eichler now is fourth. Johnny Benson is fifth. Eric Almirola sixth. Matt Crafton, Austin Dillon, Taylor Malsum, and Mario Goslin, your top 10.
He still stayed on the racetrack. Johnny Sauter we're talking about. Timothy Peters, another great run going here in the strutmasters.com Toyota. Red Horse Racing.
That move he made on the last lap at Daytona was as good as it gets, wasn't it? He had decided he was going to push Todd Bodine to that win.
But was happy finishing second.
He
tickled to death.
Okay, that was my plan. Okay, here comes Jason White. Darn, that looks like a better plan. Changed his plan and drove to victory lane. I love that.
And Brian Eichler, again, getting into the seat for Kyle Busch. A little change that took place here so that Kyle Busch can drive in Nashville. So Brian Eichler running very well today, running in the 4th position.
Yeah, 3rd, his best career finish. He did that at Michigan last year. Actually had the pole at that race, finished 3rd. Longtime K&N Pro Series West and East competitor. He's won in both divisions, East and West. There's Eric Almirola, currently running in the 6th spot, the AKAwareness.com Toyota.
Let's get you caught back up on what has taken place up to this point. Because of qualifying rained out, that means that Kevin Harvick was able to start up front. Eric Almirola was outside him. Matt Crafton on the inside of row number 2. Rick Crawford had problems early on the left front, and he has continued to have problems with his left front tire.
He's had another left front go down. A little bit of contact right there. 46 of Clay Greenfield gets turned around.
Pit troubles for the 17 of Timothy Peters. They weren't done yet with the right sides, and the jackman dropped the jack before they were able to tighten up the lug nuts. Also problems for Johnny Sauter. He got a tire on his hood.
Okay, that's officially the first time I've ever seen him do that. I've seen a lot of stuff.
Lap 91. Not enough room for everyone to try to get through turns 3 and 4.
Brent Raymer pays the price there. There's lap number 112.
The biggest crash of the day.
Gets turned around, and the 76 comes along. Brian Johnson Jr. makes hard contact with the door.
Problems for the 39. The engine expires on that truck for Ryan Sieg. He'll have to come onto pit road and behind the wall.
Austin Dillon bounces off the curb into Ricky Carmichael. Both those drivers having great runs. A lot of damage to that Monster Energy Drink Chevrolet for Ricky Carmichael.
As well as Jay White. Then on the restart, problems.
Brett Butler there in the FuelDoctor.com truck. He had a flat tire, bunched everything up.
46 comes down in front of the 48.
That's just Martinsville. They worked that all out on their own, Rick. Didn't even need a caution. Well, we kind of did.
10th caution. It was Narain Karthikeyan in the 60. He gets turned around, can't get it refired and going quick enough. And then most recently, Hornaday into the back of Johnny Sauter. Sauter spins around and into the front of the 5 of Mike Skinner, and that's getting it caught up here at Martinsville. After 229 of our 250 scheduled laps, Harvick out front. He has led 166 laps already.
Very few trucks out of the race. Only 6 trucks being reported behind the wall right now.
And while we see Kevin Harvick is our leader, he's been there most of the day. There's certainly been a whole lot of twists and turns in this plot. He was back to the 6th spot. Some guys used track position in order to change their strategy in order to try to get up front. It worked for a while. We saw Johnny Sauter make a pass on Kevin Harvick late in the going, a pass that a caution flag took away from Johnny, but we felt like he had a truck he could go race Kevin Harvick with. But right now, the second best truck appears to be the guy that's actually in second. So head to head, we got the 2 best trucks at the front of the field. This could be interesting.
And oh, by the way, they're teammates.
Well, for all your NASCAR news and fix, watch the Race Hub on Monday through Thursday, 7:30 Eastern. This week's guests, Greg Biffle, Marcos Ambrose, Mark Martin, Darrell Waltrip, and I know that Mike Skinner will be a guest on the Hub on Tuesday, so make sure to stay tuned to Speed at 7:30 for NASCAR Race Hub.
Check out the leaders. We got an interesting play here. Is Harvick going to take the outside?
He is going to take the outside.
Is he sure?
What? It looks like he's going to take the outside.
You have to commit once you cross the start-finish line.
Well, he committed then.
He has committed to the outside. So that means Hornaday has the preferred line on the restart.
We saw Timothy Peters get the lead from the outside on a restart earlier, but every other time the inside's taking the advantage. Might have something to do with that's his teammate on the inside of him. You know, he's pretty sure he's not going to rough him up, huh? Not only is it his teammate, he owns the trucks.
And he doesn't want him hung on the outside to allow Timothy Peters maybe to get by and take over the second position.
A lot of thinking went into this decision.
Some more strategy here at Martinsville. Coming out of turn number 4, the green flag will go back in the air. 19 laps of racing to go.
See Ron Hornaday back off and let Kevin Harvick have the lead. I think that was all planned. Kevin Harvick would start from the outside, but Ron Hornaday would let him get in front of him before they got to turn 1.
And that meant Harvick had the inside line like he wanted to keep that second spot.
And that's great teamwork right there now.
Timothy Peters, Brian Eichler battling for the 3rd spot. They're side by side still as they make their way through turn 1 and 2.
JB right behind him. Johnny Benson in the 5th position.
Eichler gets a good run off the 2nd turn, gets out in front of Peters.
Here comes Timothy Peters once again, right up against the curve, gets a little sideways. Is that going to allow the 18 to get by? They fan out as they come out of turn number 4. Here comes the 15 of Johnny Benson. Benson trying to take away the 4th spot now.
Johnny gets a little sideways. They make contact, more contact.
Side by side for 4th. Johnny Benson trying to take the position away from Timothy Peters.
I think Johnny's saying, I'm not retired. I want y'all to remember that. He took them 3 wide down into turn 1 and trying to grab that position away from Timothy Peters.
Peters trying to hug the right side of that 15. Keep the momentum up. Can he clear him? He does.
Almost.
But here comes Johnny Benson once again.
Great turn by Timothy Peters. Is able to get that advantage on Johnny Benson. Now you'll see if he can put a couple of truck links between them, get Johnny out of his world.
Meanwhile, that allowed Brian Eichler to score it out with that 3rd position in Kyle Busch's number 18 truck.
Kevin Harvick, Ron Hornaday running 1 and 2. They've been able to put a little distance between themselves and 3rd. Adam, what's going on with those 2 trucks?
Remember on the restart when we talked about Harvick in the outside lane and Hornaday on the inside and how that was very choreographed? Who do you think came up with that plan? It was the boss, Kevin Harvick. He went very detailed over the radio about exactly what he was going to do. He wanted the message relayed to Hornaday so Ron knew what was going to happen. Harvick takes the outside lane. He leads. Hornaday is 2nd. And all is good at KHI. And now going around is the 3 of Austin Dillon. No caution.
Austin into the grass. Let's see if he comes back out right in front of our race leader, Kevin Harvick. And we stay green. 13, now 12 laps of racing to go.
Tough break for Austin Dillon. He was running along in about the 7th or the 8th position.
He was racing with Max Pappas. Max actually got on the inside of Austin, and Austin just closed the door. There was nothing Max could do. Max had the position away from Austin, and they came together when Austin tried to cut off Max. Check this out. See how far Max is in there, and Austin just says, I'm taking this turn.
Max did his best to get away from Austin, but unfortunately he ran across the curb, actually onto the grass inside of the curb. Watch this, as another view right side of your screen.
Good job by Max Pappas not to crash his truck. Jennifer Jo Cobb slowed down in turn 1 and 2. No caution, but she's going to struggle to get off turn 2.
She may be able to get there. She'll turn hard left.
Like it is.
She turned hard left right now. She may be
right
okay.
in the racing groove, and they still stayed green. Jennifer Jo Cobb off the racetrack, and she'll be behind the wall momentarily.
Good job, Jennifer. That's a great job. With just 10 to go, she gets that truck out of the way.
9 laps of racing remain. Kevin Harvick has now put some distance between himself and his driver, Ron Hornaday. 0.7 of a second separate those 2.
One of them started first, and one of them started 31st, but it didn't matter. They both wound up at the front.
Brian Eichler with an impressive performance running in the 3rd spot. Team owner Kyle Busch watching from on top of the pit box.
He's got to be proud of his trucks today. He's got one running in the 3rd spot, and his other truck, Taylor Mossam, is back in the 8th position. So proud owner day, I think, for Kyle.
Looking forward to jumping in that truck next week at Nashville. We'll be back with more action next week in Nashville.
That's right, Friday. Action packed.
High bank concrete track in Nashville. Man, they can race there.
Yeah. Hey, take a look at that 60 truck right there. Narain Karthikeyan right now running in the 14th position in his first ever race of anything like this.
What was his goal?
Run all the laps.
Run all the laps. Well, if he can run about 7 more, he's going to accomplish that goal and have learned more than he could even imagine he would have learned.
And that's our buddy right there, Hermie, running in the 13th spot. We talked to him. He said he struggled early. They got the truck freed up a little bit, running 13th right now. Good top 15 run for Hermie.
Coming up to the start-finish line, the 2 of Kevin Harvick with just 5 laps of racing to go.
Some great battles on the track. Check these 2 teammates out.
Yeah, they're Eric Almirola is all over the back of Johnny Benson.
And it's been that way all day. They've been stuck together all day.
How about the momentum Kevin Harvick has in the Camping World Truck Series? He won at Phoenix, he won at Homestead, he won at Atlanta. Those are the last 3 races he's entered, and now at Martinsville he's just 3.5 laps away from another win.
You hear what Johnny just said?
Yeah, he keeps running into me.
He keeps running into me.
Would you tell him to stop?
They're teammates.
What about Harvick? Since the beginning of 09, his average finish is 2.0. He's going to mess that up.
Yeah, it's going to be 1.9.
It's going to get better.
It's going to get crazy down into the ones.
3 laps of racing to go for Kevin Harvick, trying to make it 4 wins in a row when he has entered in the Camping World Truck Series.
And oh, by the way, Ron Hornaday, another short track race at Martinsville without a victory if Kevin Harvick holds on for another 2-3 laps.
Ron Hornaday, at any racetrack that he has raced at least 10 races, has been able to go to victory lane. Not Martinsville.
You think Eric's going to tell Johnny he had to run into him because Matt Crafton was behind him?
Might blame it on Matt.
Uh-oh. Problems now for Taylor Malsom in the 56.
Running in the 8th position right now. He has no choice but to stay on the racetrack and try to ride it out.
Final lap. The white flag has gone in the air. Kevin Harvick, less than a half a lap to go,
with a big lead,
trying to earn his 8th career Camping World Truck Series win. The Tide, number 2, coming out of turn number 4. Harvick will win at Martinsville again.
There's that battle for 5th right there, Johnny Benson.
Teammates Benson and Eric Almirola cross side by side, with Benson getting the advantage. Taylor Malsom will complete all the laps, even with no left front tire.
What a job by Kevin Harvick.
2nd win at Martinsville. He has won 6 of his last 10 starts in the Camping World Truck Series.
Is that the 4th victory for Tide here at Martinsville with 4 different drivers?
Good job there, Harvick.
You can remember DW, certainly.
Yeah. Ricky Craven. Ricky Rudd.
Remember when he was almost collapsed in victory lane?
And now Kevin Harvick. It's got to be some sort of a first.
And remember, this engine won at Atlanta the last time we raced.
And you remember after the race, he said, I can't do a burnout, can I? And they said, no, you can't. You have to race that again. He's doing him a burnout now.
They did, and they'll tear that engine down on Tuesday at the NASCAR R&D Center. Adam.
About how impressive the numbers are for Kevin Harvick as a driver, not nearly as impressive as his crew chief Butch Hilton, 1 for 1 atop the pit box. How strong was that truck today?
It's just a testament to KHI and the job they're doing on all our stuff right now. Ronnie Hopkins Engineering builds our chassis. They do a great job. ECR engines, all the guys in the fab shop, the guys that put these things together. We built this truck in 16 days from the time we got it from the chassis builder. And Ron's truck is a twin to this, and his truck ran really good today. I just can't be more proud of KHI right now.
1-2 finish. Pretty strong for Butch Hilton in his debut.
Uh-oh. Maybe a little tempers flaring as you see the steam rolling out from the base of the windshield of Johnny Sauter.
There's also steam running out of Johnny Sauter.
And here comes Johnny Sauter. Not happy with Ron Hornaday. Hornaday's crews telling him to stay back.
NASCAR officials right there.
If you remember, late in the race, Johnny Sauter running 2nd, Hornaday running 3rd. Hornaday got into the back of Johnny Sauter, turned him around. Sauter not happy at all with the explanation he's getting from Hornaday.
I like the job that the official's doing. He's right there in case things go crazy, but he's letting those two
Let him talk it out. Let him talk it out.
He's letting them figure it out.
Now, if there's any more than conversation, then NASCAR officials are going to jump in there.
It's a great job by NASCAR
and Dennis Adcock there, one of the lead officials for the Camping
veteran official.
Kevin Harvick getting out of his truck there in the start-finish line, and Adam Alexander with him.
And I guess in a way anticlimactic in victory lane. Harvick already out and celebrating. You had some other concerns as the leader of this team. Very dominant race truck today. Was it as good on track as it appeared?
Yeah, this Tide Kroger Chevrolet was really good on the racetrack. I was a little concerned. I was a little concerned as to what was happening on pit road. Just want to make sure that everybody's as professional as they can be, and I know things happen. But yeah, this thing was good. We got a lot of pieces in this thing that are new. that Ron gets to run, and some different things that we tried this week. So that's my job, R&D guy, but it's worked out pretty good lately.
Sometimes here you can have the best truck and not win because the strategy is not right. Talk about managing this new tire and handling the strategy today.
Yeah, tires fall off, which is a good thing. Makes for an exciting race, and 17, he could go for about 20 laps, and he started to get loose in, and I just kind of, waited until he wore his stuff out. But yeah, I mean, the Martinsville race tomorrow is going to be very interesting because the Cup tires, they really blow the tires off, and you only get to go for about 20 laps, and then it's a lot of throttle control and a lot of things happening. So, but I'm proud of our team today. Everybody worked together well. I know, Ron wants to win, but they needed a good solid day. And to finish second is what the Longhorn Chevy needed. And just proud of all these guys. They built this truck in 15 days, start to finish. And I get rid of all their trucks fast. And our customers like them, but they don't like them when they have to build them fast. But good day for us.
When you're the boss, you got to see things from every angle. And you were really visualizing something special on that last restart. Talk about how you orchestrated you in the outside lane, Hornaday on the inside lane there.
Well, I think it was pretty clear that the 2 was better than the 33. We made fools out of ourselves once between myself and Ron and our spotters by not doing a very good job of working together like we needed to at Loudon. And we didn't do that today. We had a big powwow after that, and everybody worked together really well. We communicated together, and our plans of how we communicate worked well today, and everything came together. So it's important to work together as a company, and we'll succeed as a company if we do that.
Congratulations for today. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Harvick celebrating in victory lane. We've heard from the employer. Now let's hear from the employee, Ray.
Well, Adam, after 2 tough races, Ron Hornaday brings home a great finish today, but a little extracurricular between you and Johnny Sauter. What'd he have to say?
It's just Martinsville. I mean, I got into Benson. Benson let me go, and then he got it and come down, and I got him a little loose. But Johnny's deal, I don't know if he just got out of the throttle. I got a good run up off him. I doinked him, so I just can't say nothing. I mean, I spun him out. I mean, that's all there is to it. And Longhorn Chevrolet was good. It just we could, once we got track positions, we were decent. Johnny pushed us out of the way, got up high, and beat the crap out of the side of the truck just because you got up high. But it's pushing and shoving.
You guys pitted early, Ron, to get that track position. Did you know that was going to be the plan before you started today's race?
No, we're actually trying to fix the truck. We lowered the track bar. The thing was just really swinging loose real bad, and we definitely fixed the truck. So it's just a matter of keep on working on it. But yeah, we put the 2 rights on there, and we were just so far back, the leaders were coming, so we came back in the next time and put lefts on, so it gave us track position.
After starting deep in the field, nice rebound today for Hornaday and the Longhorn Chevrolet. Let's go to Adam.
And the other part of that equation in the post-race activity, Johnny Sauter, he's changing the street clothes, looking over his race truck. Johnny, I know the frustration of short track racing, and you had a much better truck than you were able to get at the end of the day, finish-wise. Discuss what happened on track and what the conversation was like after the race with Hornaday.
It's all good. Want to say hi to my wife, my new baby boy Penn at home. Proud of him, love him, and thank my guys. Thank Joe Shear, everybody at ThorSport, and thanks Sealmaster. Go to try13.com, check out our truck. Sponsor here, Sealmaster, it's awesome, and just the way it is.
So Johnny Sauter, obviously very disappointed about the way things transpired here today, and rather than discuss the situation, he will just thank his sponsors and gladly move on.
You could see Johnny Sauter biting his lip almost as he was telling us about his sponsors and his family. So a very difficult situation for Johnny Sauter. We saw his emotions pouring out, almost like the steam was pouring out at the base of the windshield of his truck. Steam coming out from underneath the helmet of the number 13 driver. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. Visit Camping World RV Sales and check out the Freedom Elite motorhome starting at only $49,995. And by Verizon, the network with the most 3G coverage. Kevin Harvick winning once again in the Camping World Truck Series. We go back trackside to Adam Alexander.
Rick Timothy Peters unable to make it 2 in a row at his home track, but I think you'll take a win, a 7th, and a 4th to start the season, huh?
Absolutely. What a career, what a way to start the year off, right? Can't thank Tom DeLuce and everybody on this Red Horse Racing Toyota Tundra. Jeff Hensley made great calls all day. The pit crew did a phenomenal job. We had a really good 1 and 2 all day long. We just kept losing our drive off of 4. But, you know, congratulations to Harvick. He had a good truck. It was cool to battle him for the lead there, but to come home solid, top 5, that's what we need to do to keep ahead in these points.
He will be the leader when we head to Nashville next week, Ray.
Well, Adam, Johnny Benson's last win came at this track in the fall of 2008. Another good run today, a top 5. Are you happy with that?
Well, I guess pretty happy with it. You know, I thought the truck was going to be a little bit better, but, you know, really got to thank Billy Blue for letting me drive this thing. And, of course, Red Top Auto Auctions and, of course, Toyota and Toyota Tundra just give me a good opportunity to come here, run with Billy. And 5th, I'm not going to complain, you know, just except for a spit out maybe. But it was, we just weren't quite as good in the long run as what we needed to. Short run good, long run, we got to work on that just a little bit.
What's next for Johnny Benson?
I don't know. Got to wait for somebody to see if we can get in a truck. You know, I've talked to a couple people. I don't think next week's going to happen at all, but maybe something a little bit later.
All right, we wish you good luck. A top 5 for JB here at Martinsville.
Take a look at our unofficial results. Again, Kevin Harvick. He was out front 3 different times for 187 laps, including the final 61 laps. Hornaday, his driver, finishing in the 2nd spot.
Well, look at great runs from Max Pappas back in 8th, Mario Gosselin in 9th, and Ricky Carmichael, after hard contact, recovers to finish with a top 10. 2 in a row for him.
I can't believe he didn't have to go to the pits as hard as he got hit, but got a top 10 out of it. My guy, Chris Eggleston, getting a top 15 finish in 11th, and your guy, Narian.
Narray Karthikeyan with a 13th in his first ever oval track race in any kind of a vehicle like this. Our buddy Hermie with a 12th place finish.
Yep, another guy making his first ever Truck Series start. DJ Kennington finished in the top 20. Clay Greenfield 8 laps down. He had a strong truck early in the race, but bounced off a few different trucks to finish up in the 21st spot.
Same thing with Brett Butler. He had run around the top 12, top 15 all day long and broke late in the going, had to come to the garage area. These guys here all had trouble. Chris Lafferty, he was involved in a few accidents, and we saw that hard contact between Brian Johnson Jr. and Lance Fenton.
Kevin Harvick hoisting the trophy here at Martinsville. Again, that's the 8th time he has won in the Camping World Truck Series, but he's on a strong roll right now. Take a look at our points as we see Kevin Harvick still on the stage, taking quite a few pictures. These are the unofficial point standings after 3 races. Timothy Peters now with a 59-point lead over Eric Almirola.
Yeah, a lot of competition left to go here. Only 3 races into a 25-race season. Big jump for Ron Hornaday, though. He was way, way, way back. Kevin Harvick obviously is going to drop off that list. He will not run a full schedule, just limited amount of races. But, of course, when he shows up, he's pretty good.
He's very good. Ricky Carmichael is 7th in the point standings. He's expected to run the full season, so he should be a contender for the championship in 2010.
I think Adam's caught up with Narain Karthikeyan.
Very good. Adam?
Michael, Rick, you guys know that everyone on our speed crew felt the debut for Narain Karthikeyan was very, very successful, but only one person can rate this day truly. It's you. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it was what I expected, very hard. I tried to learn a lot from the drivers. The biggest problem is with the racecraft, you know, there's a lot of wheel banging going on, and, you know, you don't want to be upsetting people in your first race, but I stuck it out there and brought it home in 13th place. Really, really happy for Starbeast Motorsport, for Weiler. Stacy did a great job for me today. I learned a lot of him. And if we keep going this way, then I think we should, you know, genuinely be in the top 10 and I don't know, in the next half a dozen races.
Best of luck and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Well, yesterday morning, Brian Eichler was a passerby here by the 18 pits. Then you became the driver, and today a great finish. How does it feel?
Well, it feels great, especially where we started. You know, we started by rain points. Started 32nd and being able to finish 3rd. Great day, awesome truck. Got to thank Toyota, Kyle Busch Motorsports, all the fans for coming out. We got M&Ms on the truck this weekend, and just happy to be here in Martinsville.
You were up there in the top 5 and then got pushed out over here in turn 4. How long does it take to regain your composure and get back after it?
I tell you what, a lot, especially here, you know, how the tempers are flaring, and I just got a little something on the tires, got pushed up in the outside groove, and got shuffled back there, but we had such a good Toyota, it didn't take a whole lot longer to come back to the field.
3rd place finish for Brian Eichler today. His teammate Taylor Malsom finishes 14th.
Kevin Harvick still on the stage. You know, it was historic seeing Narain in this race. He's the first ever India-born driver to drive in NASCAR, and so an impressive performance. He's got a very good resume as far as what he's driven before, but to get into a stock car and do so well is very impressive.
Yeah, tremendous resume, and looks to run at least 10 races this year in that 60 truck, so hope to see him soon.
Friday, April 2nd, we will be in Nashville, the Nashville 200 from Nashville Super Speedway. And Kyle Busch will be there. We know that he will make things interesting. Ron Hornaday maybe snapped the bad luck that he had at the starting of this 2010 season. Let's see if he can get back up and battle for the championship this year.
I would not put it past him, although he's under a probably bigger deficit than he's ever seen before.
But he started cutting the deficit today, Phil. He gained points on everybody that he's racing for this championship for, so it was a big day for that team.
We knew it was going to happen. Tempers were going to flare. It took place on the racetrack and then later on pit road at the end of this race. But Kevin Harvick was able to come home the winner at Martinsville.
In 9 years of truck racing in Nashville, 8 different drivers have sung a victory song. See who will be the latest to get the guitar next Friday. Krista opens the show with the setup at 7:30. Then, the headliners take to the track for the 10th Truck Series race at Nashville Super Speedway. Don't miss a second of the action. Live on Speed.